Hey, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yay, James. It's about to be a great day. James on number one. King James. Miss Simone.
Good morning.
Hey, you pulled all the surprises out today. I ain't even know about that one. I just found out. I was like,
It was great because yesterday you and Amaya were already touching on the toxic relationship piece, and I was like, I gotta think of a good topic, Miss Simone. She was already thinking about this since like Saturday, Sunday. So I was like, that was the perfect warm up. And she said she was gonna bring summer.
that's what I'm saying, yo. The fact that you went to the graveyard to dig this child up, yo, nobody seen her since the summer of '92. Good morning, y'all. King James got his number one spot. That's how you know it's about to be a great day.
Great period. Hey,
right.
James.
Good morning, Cam. Good morning, Lamar. Oh, Lamar up early today. You know, he had a slip up yesterday. It's like Homeboy had them covers over his head, man. He got caught up in a manic Monday situation.
Good was too
Corey.
Good morning, Corey.
No, this the boy Corey. This King Corey.
Oh, hey,
yeah,
hey, Corey.
Yeah. This the boy Corey. Yeah. Hey, Elder. Good morning, Elder.
Oh, Elder, I saw your video for the Roots Branch. Congratulations for winning. It was so cute.
$500 easy.
Easy money.
$500, yo. Easy.
Y'all probably a little bit more rich than I am. I'm like,
they got money. They balling. That's how they can spend money on crazy crap. Because they balling.
Right. Who else is on that?
They is balling. Hey, if any of my 21217 people on here, yo, drop your name. I'm just trying to see if anybody being proactive. You know, it don't officially start till Friday. But I sent out the email last night. So if anybody is being proactive, then I already know that they about to be like basically the winners.
Easily. The start line is already here.
Right, exactly. Like some people want to walk away and only get a couple $100, but other people want to walk away and be set for life. Like they want to have fun. They not only something financial, but you're going to have mental wealth by the time you walk away from this. So I need to know who those people are.
That right there is priceless.
Man, they don't get it though. They ain't gonna get it till they older.
No, please, no. Make a liar out of us. Please get it.
They ain't gonna make me a liar. I've been trying to get them to do that forever, Miss Simone. Elder owed me $100 and she ain't even trying to pay up.
Oh, baby.
That's a mess. Yeah, because we had a bet and I won the bet like I knew I would, and now she don't want to pay. Full time she just got $500.
She wants to change the rules. She's like,
exactly. And Cam Wright, she the finalist for the 2020 poet. I don't know how to say that word, but yeah.
Elder is?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I got the email and everybody was like, congratulations, Elder, congratulations. I'm like, for what? And then I read it. I was like, oh, all right.
She's making moves in silence. She can't let you know when she's making money.
Making moves in silence, yo, because she don't want to pay me my money. Yo, this how I be. That's why I can't be betting people, yo. People that don't pay up. Hey, Jordan, good morning.
Morning, Jordan. And shout out to Cam. Your smoothies, Cam? Baby, what? I'll eat a smoothie every day. All meal if it's a KR smoothie. So thank you so much.
Hey, that's right. That immunity. Oh. And remember the ladies who was trying to get a smoothie, right? Remember? But yo, they donated $100. Cam, did you get your $100? Did she catch up with you? The lady said she wanted to donate $100 because I was telling her about what we do and how we have youth business owners, and she was like, wow. She was like, how can I donate $100? I'm like, nice. I got you.
Okay. Don't even worry, baby.
Don't even worry. We got you. Oh, Lamar said he got one yesterday.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Hold up. How you get one yesterday and you was asleep? You missed the whole session. You ain't had no immunity smoothie. You had a fake smoothie. He had a sleep smoothie. That wasn't a chaos. A chaos smoothie will get you up.
Wait, get you up and right. Oh,
she called. Yeah, y'all is crazy.
I hope she really calls because that's nice.
I think she is. We know where she live at. If she don't,
that is very true. When they were
baby girl,
to talk,
pull right on up.
You already know.
It isn't working. I'm not doing.
Hey Ari.
Hey Ari. They in the ghetto, y'all.
Here?
Excuse us, y'all.
Do you have the
it says unable to access camera.
Why?
I am turning the camera on.
Oh my gosh, y'all. It's more than one of them.
Hold on a second.
Okay, don't worry. We're used to the technical difficulties.
We in the ghetto, y'all. Don't even worry about it. Hey, yo, look who rolled out the grave this morning. Hey, Ty. Good morning, Ty. Hey, Ty. Hey, yo. Hey, Ty. Yo.
Welcome back, baby.
Yes, look at that's how you know we doing something right. Yo, who been in the graveyard digging up everybody? Baby, take that Chipotle head off. What's up?
Tony, cut it out. Wait, Ari, you have two things on here. Can you hear us? Ari?
Not today.
Okay, it's so.
There you go. It's gonna be.
Oh,
yeah, she out the ghetto.
Okay.
Yo, we ain't seen or heard no summer, yo, since the summer of '92.
For real.
Summer, what you get low all winter, yo?
No, Migo, you gotta listen to me. All right.
Hear me
so
out.
I'm not gonna lie, I have been on my stuff lately. But I was on recently. I was on last week. I just didn't say nothing because I knew he was gonna get at me. Yeah. So, but I got you from now on. I'm
all right, y'all heard that she made a public announcement. She got me from now on. Y'all heard that? Like, yo, how you skip the comments, yo, and come straight to the video, yo?
Going to get on me.
You know I'm gonna get on you. The strong arm will drag you all the way from West Baltimore to East Baltimore, down to South Baltimore, because you know better. But you know what? I'm proud of you. You showed up today.
Yeah.
Yes. Miss Simone been in all the graveyards digging everybody up. Yo, bring corpses, bring bones, whatever y'all can, yo.
Everyone come on.
Exactly. Especially people who we ain't seen, like Shimmy.
Yeah.
Yo, Shim, where's you at?
Where's Shimmy?
Exactly.
Where is Shimmy?
Ron. It's other people, I don't even know their names. I know them by face. Y'all know them.
Oh my Lord.
Bring them out, y'all.
Y'all is crazy. Hey, Cam. Yeah. I see y'all. Don't allow the app to accept your camera stuff. Okay, all right. We got you. They good. Y'all out the ghetto with y'all technology now.
We was never in it.
Baby, you definitely was.
It was the settings, though.
The rewind is the witness.
You were in the black hole. We could not see anything.
It was some settings.
Y'all is crazy. Yeah, what we doing today?
Today we're talking about toxic relationships. There we go.
Y'all, a lot of people need this. Send this to somebody right now and get them on this live. A lot of y'all need this. Richard, get him on. Whoever that girl is, get her on. Y'all need this.
Everybody, seriously, y'all. Come on.
All right, y'all ready? Yeah. All right, Miss Lee, change it. So we start off by saying, what is a toxic relationship? And we basically said a relationship often lacks communication, leading to physical and emotional distress or conflict. I can't even see. Oh my God. A relationship where boundaries
I'm sorry.
aren't set and when they are set, boundaries are often broken. So basically that means that just in a relationship where you don't have communication, there's always going to be conflict. And conflict can lead to even like physical conflict, and that can lead to even more toxic relationship. In a relationship where boundaries aren't set, so when you don't set personal boundaries for your relationship, or when they are set and then the person breaks them or you both break them, so that can lead to toxic relationships.
Okay. So the type of relationships that we'll be talking about are I can't even talk today, sorry. Your relationships with your friends, family, and also relationships with your love interests.
Toxic family relationships. We said some of the traits of toxic family relationships are lack of support, lack of trust, lack of understanding, and lack of compassion. We said lack of support really just meant that your family doesn't really support the things that you do. And even if they don't always support you, they could still offer a little bit of support. And we said lack of trust is when your family doesn't trust you at all. They're always questioning you, and that can also lead to conflict.
Or like with trust, like you can't always go to them for help, or you just don't trust them with the information that you tell them.
Sure. And then understanding is when your family doesn't take the time to understand you, and they always like this attack, like, oh, sorry, my phone. They always just attack you and just don't take the time to really understand what you're saying. And then we said compassion is when they don't really show you any empathy. Like sometimes families can be a little bit toxic because they don't take the time to really filter what they're saying to you just because they're family. They just think that, oh, I can give them tough love, but they don't really show you that compassion that you need sometimes. What's the next one?
So toxic friendships, we said that in most friendships, not everybody has like the same mindset. Like how Taylor was saying on Friday, like not like if your friend doesn't have like same mindset, like trying to get better or try to improve themselves, then why are you friends with me? Like you're just gonna bring me down. You're not gonna help me move up or, become successful in life. Then we also said that they don't want the best for you. So basically going with the first one, it's kind of like they don't want to see you great or they don't want to see you succeed, and they just kind of want you to be on their level with them since they're not going anywhere. For the third one, we also say it kind of gets distracting, like it's all task. Like they can easily manipulate you into, kind of doing something wrong when you should be doing something better for yourself. Like if you need to study, they'll kind of manipulate you to kind of go out and, like forget studying, forget, all that schoolwork, just take your mind off of it. We can go out, party, and then that ends up hurting you in the long run. And then we also had said jealousy, since you're kind of above them, like they'll see that and they'll be like, wow, like, I don't like that, she thinks she this, she thinks she that. But in the meantime, like you're just doing what's best for you. You're not doing what's best for them. And the last one we said, unreasonable
amount of time or energy.
Yeah.
So we just said friends who always just want to be around you. Not that that's a problem. It's good to have a bond, but it should never be a friendship where they take more of your energy than they give, or a friendship where they always want to be around you when you're trying to do better things. So like it's okay to be around each other and do productive things together, but when you're hanging out together and you aren't doing anything productive that'll benefit you, move both of you forward, it's just a waste of time. Toxic love interest relationships. Okay, so we said the main trait was poor communication, and I feel like that ties into everything with all the type of relationships. Communication is key as always, and I feel like when you start to lack communication, lack talking, like telling your feelings to each other, that's when problems start. Always. And then you want to say something?
Because like if you don't see eye to eye with the person, like, what is it? Like y'all can't. Oh, sorry. If you don't see eye to eye with the person, it's kind of like y'all not communicating at all. Y'all can't see what's wrong with the other person. Y'all can't see if they're going through anything or if you need to help them if they're not telling you anything at all.
Different mindsets or goals in life. You want to say that?
Nah, you go ahead. I'm gonna say the next one.
Okay. So different mindsets or goals in life is basically just when you and your partner have different mindsets, really. Like you have a goal set and your partner doesn't have a goal set, that brings you down and that brings the other person down too, technically, because you're trying to elevate yourself and move forward in what you want to be in life. And that person doesn't have any goals, so they don't know what it's like. And they're just constantly bringing you down when you're trying to achieve all of your goals.
Someone who always drains you. Whew, okay, so kind of like they always want to be around you, but kind of like for the wrong reasons. Not like they want to be around you to like help you in life or help you just like benefit you, not really benefit yourself, but like just to help you, period. They kind of just want to always like get money from you or always want to, what I'm trying to say, because I can't even talk right now.
I think she mean like I personally put this one on here. I said be careful of people who drain more than they fill, because some people want to be around you and they constantly just take off like all of your positive energy and put it into their negative energy. And you can't be around someone who wants all of your energy. And if they want it, they should be returning it in a positive way. But when someone just constantly eats on your energy, it's really toxic and it's really bad for you, because then you become depressed and you start to realize like maybe I'm a problem, and you start doubting yourself in certain situations. You just got to be around people who take the time to build you up. And if someone uses your positive energy, they should be helping you put it back into your life. They shouldn't be just adding more negative energy into it. And I think she kind of skipped one, but someone who is always negative, bring down your mood, that's kind of ties into that. Because some people will just be negative for no reason. They'll just get you in a bad mood for no reason. And I feel like those people you have to stay away from, because if someone sees that you are happy and they're always trying to bring you down and make you feel sad, then you shouldn't be around that type of person. You can go to nothing to offer.
Which one has to offer? So with nothing to offer, it's kind of like they don't really have a goal set in their mind on what they want to do in life. So it's like when you don't really have a goal, it's like, what are you doing? You're not really doing anything. You're just kind of just sitting, or you're outside, doing nothing. So when they have nothing to offer, it's kind of like, I'm doing everything. I'm trying to work on myself. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to do this career that I want to be in, but you're not helping me. You're not pushing me to get there. You're just kind of like sitting there. You're kind of waiting for me to be successful. And then when I get up there, you want me to help you with everything. So it's kind of like you're not really doing anything that's going to benefit me.
And I also think nothing to offer is about mostly sexual stuff, to be honest with you. I feel like a lot of relationships and people want bonds nowadays, they're based off of sexual wants. I feel like that's not the main part of a relationship. And I feel like that shouldn't be something that comes before an actual bond. And I feel like a lot of people think that they offering a lot just because they can offer their body and offer some attention here and then. But you have to offer like your actual time, your empathy. You have to offer support when I need it. You have to offer a lot of things that just money can't buy and your private parts can't buy, honestly.
Preach.
You want to go to the next one?
Okay.
No, you put that on there.
I said immaturity. I basically said when you're just immature about certain situations, like it's some things that don't require a certain like response. I feel like relationships where someone is always down your back, like telling you like, who is this person? Who is that person? And then all of that. I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should trust that person to be in a relationship with you. And you shouldn't have to keep doubting them or wondering who they're talking to. And I feel like if someone kept like keep doing that to you, then yeah, it's not good. And I feel like they should never like have to doubt you if you're in a true relationship. You can switch.
Okay, so the first warning sign that we said was they're changing attitude. So it's kind of like, I'm going to talk about relationships for this one in particular. So it's kind of like in the beginning, everything's just great. You feel like you could really build something with this person, or, they meet the family, they speak highly of them, stuff like that. But all of a sudden, it's kind of like this switch that happens where they just start acting different. Like they don't text you, or they don't want to talk to you as much, or they start acting weird. Like, they don't want to give you their attention, or, kind of make you feel insecure about yourself. So it's kind of like, where did this all come from? And that's kind of like a start to being toxic in that type of relationship.
It kind of happens in early relationships too, because there's been a situation where a person would just tell me the world. And then as soon as like they would be seem so perfect. And then as soon as they don't get what they want, then we flip the switch. Like it's like a whole new person I never saw before. And it's like this goes back to sex. Like everything isn't based around that. And if someone is basing their relationship on that with you, then you don't need to be in a relationship with that person.
Oh, that's one. So kind of closed off for like secretive. So it's kind of like if they're going through something and they don't want to express it with you, even though they're like your partner, that like y'all supposed to go through stuff together. Y'all supposed to help each other go through stuff together to kind of get through it. And it's kind of like they don't want to tell you anything, like it's a secret, or they just kind of close you off out their life when you're there to help. Like you're there for them for a reason. So it's kind of like, why are you pushing me to the side when I'm trying to help you or, make you feel better? It's kind of like, what did I do for you to do that to me?
Not willing to communicate or openly work on problems. I feel like this is the biggest one and it ties back to communication. I feel like someone I think the first step is realizing that there is a problem in your relationship and you both need to be able to do that. Once you realize that there is a problem, if the person doesn't want to work on the problems, is like anticlimactic. Like, what do you want to be in a relationship for? Like, relationships always will have problems, but like, what do you just want to sit there and sit on top of problems for? There's no point in that. So if you don't want to work on the problems, it's like you just want to just bury them, and then that leads to more problems because they'll all just build up at one point, and they'll just all come out at one point, and you just won't end up. Y'all both will just end up sad, honestly. No accountability or everything is your fault. I feel like someone who can't own up to their actions. When they do own up to the actions, they try to flip the script on you and rely on the things that you've done, and they just try to make it seem like it's your fault that everything is happening, and that it's your fault that this happened and everything like that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the first moment that you start feeling bad about yourself or insecure about yourself, kind of questioning your actions, like, is it me? Am I doing something? Or, what am I doing that's making him mad or starting to act like this? It's kind of like, I wasn't feeling like this before, so why am I feeling like this now? Like, it's kind of like they're putting everything on you or making the blame like on you. So it's like, yeah. They're trying to like put the blame on you.
When you start to compromise your values in order to stay in the person's life. I think this is the big one. You should never change yourself for a relationship. The relationship should change you, but in a better way. I feel like if you're trying to make yourself seem like someone you're not in a relationship, you shouldn't be in that relationship, because a relationship is all about being yourself with someone and like being happy with someone. And if you're not being yourself, how are you truly being happy? Okay, we can move on.
I want the experience part.
Oh, Lord. All right, how to get out of a toxic relationship. Try to communicate how you've been feeling and see if they change. I think this is the big first step. You just first have to tell them that there is a problem, because some people aren't aware that there is a problem. Like some people just like that cloud-minded, they just can't see it. So you have to try to tell them that there is a problem and then see how they react to you telling them that the problem. So, and you have to do this probably in person, because through text, sometimes it can get kind of complicated and things can be misread.
I feel like if you hear it from their voice, you can hear how it's like really troubling them or how it's like really bothering them, instead of it just coming from a text where you just reading it.
Or it's sincere.
Yeah. We also set boundaries to kind of see if they can meet them, such as like what's one? What's one?
Set boundaries.
Yeah.
How do you advertise? Set boundaries and see if they are met. We can skip it. Yeah.
Okay. So for the next one, we kind of said, just be honest with them and like. So if you want to get out of it, you can kind of just be honest. Like just tell them what's up. Like tell them how it's really troubling you. Tell them how like it changed you. How like you're starting to feel bad, or you kind of seeing like their different side and you're not liking it. And then it's kind of going back to the first one, just kind of see how they react to it. And if they don't have like a positive reaction to it, or like they just feel like they're trying to push it off and be like, all right, whatever, like I don't really care, then that means it's time to kind of like get out that relationship, because that's gonna hurt you in the long run.
Yeah, I think you should always just be direct, because you don't want to just beat around it when you're trying to get your main point across. You just gotta say it straight. and block if you need to after communication. And I think this was a big one for me because I feel like sometimes blocking it just doesn't get rid of the problem. But I feel like blocking it after communication is okay. And this could be blocking their phone number, blocking their Instagram, blocking them from your life in general. I feel like once you have that communication with them and you establish that this didn't work and that I don't think that you're a good person for me in my life, I think that it's okay to block them because you don't want to constantly have that negative energy in your life. And you don't constantly want someone to just be able to see what you're doing. You don't want them to be able to check on you. I feel like it's just a way of letting go. But I don't think that you should block before the communication because I feel like it doesn't solve anything. You still have that like urge to talk to them. I feel like you still don't have everything you have, like you want to say out in the open.
We also said try distancing yourself. I feel like if you distance yourself casually, you'll start to see how your life starts to change back to the better. Like if you were in the relationship and like you were just always negative, you was depressed and you would like start to doubt yourself about certain things. And then when you start distancing yourself from that relationship, it's kind of like, it's gonna be like a huge change. You'll see how the positive side of trying to get out that relationship. You want to listen? Kind of take time for yourself to heal. I know for me, from past experiences, it's kind of like it took me a while after getting out of this relationship. It was kind of like I would always put stuff on me, like, you know, what did I do? And I would just end up crying about it. And it's kind of like you got to give yourself time to heal afterwards. It could take as long as you need to, as long as you fully recover from it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I feel like my last relationship was kind of the opposite of hers. Like, I don't know. I feel like once we got to that point where it was really done, I was at the point where I've been going through it for so long that I was just like, okay, I feel no more emotions towards you. I can't even cry anymore. Like, I'm just ready for it to be done. And I found out some things about the relationship after it broke up. And I was just like, I couldn't even be cried. Like, I couldn't even cry. I wasn't even sad anymore. I just really think I really let it go inside of my heart. And I think that I let it go in a very healthy way. So I was kind of started distancing myself before we even broke up. And I kind of explained to him like what was going on. So I felt like when we actually did break up, it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like, okay, it's done. And when I found things out, I wasn't hurt. It was just like, okay, I can laugh it off now. It's like a joke, really. And I don't feel anything toward the person. Okay. Oh Lord. Our stories and what we've learned. We can start again.
Okay, so I'm gonna basically talk about toxic relationships with your family. So my experience, it still kind of goes on now. It's kind of like, so I only live with my mother. And me and my mother do not have like, a close mother and daughter type of bond. It was to the point where I was like truly depressed. Like I was really going through it because when I can't go to my mother for help for anything because I know how she's gonna react. She's just gonna yell. Like she doesn't understand it from my point of view. And she always thinks, she kind of blames it on me. Like, I don't want to hear that excuse, this and that, this and that. And it's kind of like, you're not hearing me. So when a person doesn't hear what I'm trying to say or doesn't understand it from my point of view, it's kind of like, I can't get help. Like, I'm just stuck here. I can't go to her for anything. And it was also to a point where I had to leave the house. Like, I could not stay here because it was just depressing. Like, I would constantly cry. And it was like, I would cry at school and nobody ever saw me like that. So it was kind of like a shock to people. It was like, because I'm always generally a happy person. Like, I'm always smiling most of the time. So when they saw me cry over this situation, it was like, yeah, something has to be done. And then over time, she got to understand what I was going through due to like my father talking to her and like trying to get her to like understand where I'm going through, such as like why my grades were dropping or why I wasn't doing this, why I wasn't doing that. So that's just one of those toxic traits in a relationship. It's kind of like not communicating, not understanding where that person's coming from. And yeah.
Okay, my story, I'm gonna talk about relationships. And I feel like in my relationship, my last relationship, I felt like the person was overall very negative toward me. And I feel like I would try to put my best effort forward and all of my time and energy into the person, even when they didn't give it to me back. And I felt like, I'm not gonna cry. And I feel like now that I look back on it, I shouldn't have done all those things. I should have read the red signs. And I just realized that some people really aren't just worth it, honestly. You really have to invest your time. I feel like now I learned this, and I say it a lot now. I want a relationship. I always say, like, I want a relationship. I want this, that, and the third. And I just had to realize, like, lately I've been thinking a lot on this. And I was thinking, like, I don't want a relationship. I want to bond with the person. I don't want just the title, because the title doesn't mean anything. I want actual connection with the person who is going to, like, treat me right, and I can, like, treat them right. We can help better each other. And I feel like I need to just stop looking for relationships that I think that I want versus something that I need. And I feel like with my past relationships, I just looked for things that I wanted. And I feel like I moved very fast because we didn't even get the chance to be friends before we started being in a relationship. Or we was friends for a short amount of time before we were in a relationship. And I feel like I should be friends with you for a while and get that bond with you. And before I just hop in a relationship with you. And in my relationship, I just felt like the person was overall negative and they would just try to keep putting me down. Like, I feel like I would just be in such a good mood and I would be happy to see the person. And then once I got where I was going with them, once we over the house or something, you picking up my phone, asking me who is this, and like putting me down, and like just starting arguments with me. And like it got to the point where we separated for a little bit of time one time. And he told me that he had to distance himself away from me. So he started arguments with me because he knew he wasn't no good. And I feel like that's not an excuse, because you don't start arguments with somebody. You don't make them feel the way you made them feel. You don't make them cry every day just because you want to distance yourself. When you want to distance yourself, you talk things out. And you don't, when you want to distance yourself, you talk things out. You don't break the other person down in order to distance yourself. And from that, I just learned what I said, that I want to bond before a relationship. And I think I learned that maybe I'm not ready for a relationship, because mentally I do be depressed a lot and I have my own problems. And I feel like some people do have their own problems. And I feel like maybe we should work on ourselves before we try to hop in a relationship. Because I feel like even though I don't think I'm a toxic individual, that could be bringing someone else down on my part as well. So I just feel like I need to just calm down and just figure out what I want in life first before I just hop into another relationship where I'm not mentally stable, because I don't want to hop into another relationship and I have a breakdown again. I just want to be in that point in my life where I'm confident with myself and all my choices. That way, if I'm in a toxic relationship, I can get out of it and none of that, like I won't come out hurt, basically. Yeah. Got deep.
Yes.
Is that the end of it?
Yeah, that's the end.
Great. Great.
Yeah, I'm so inspired.
My heart is melting.
Right? Like, yo,
You, girl.
all this time with all this greatness. Y'all realize how many lives y'all blessing with this, man? So real, y'all.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Wow.
Seriously, y'all, thank you you don't have to do that, because people are suffering in toxic relationships right now as we speak, who will suffer in silence, who will keep thinking it's them, who will lean on unhealthy, destructive coping mechanism, all this stuff, and just think they're alone. So the fact that you two, just beautiful and intelligent, will come up here, speak on your experiences, try to help someone else. My day. Shut the laptop. I'm done. This is I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo, you know what I appreciate a lot about this too, is that y'all didn't just like say it, but you gave real life examples and explained a lot of the psychology behind it. Like, one thing that really kind of hit me in my chest when you said it was how, like, you would come around, you be all happy, and then this person would just do something to like bring you down. And I see young people going through that all the time. And it's like they don't understand that it's not them, that it's that person pushing on their own negative energy or their own low self-esteem or self-confidence. They see you walking around, oh, you know, good, you doing good, you feeling good, and they just can't stand it. So for whatever reason, they're going to do whatever they can to bring you down. But the fact that you recognized it though, and was able to pull yourself out, and then even coming to an end, like I've never heard a young person say, maybe I should work on me first. I've never heard a young person say that. I've told plenty of young people that, yeah, I think you should work on. I've never, you are way, way brilliant beyond your years. I don't think y'all recognize.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely.
Smiling in the corner. Guys, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yo, y'all should be. And you know what? Y'all should consider moderating this session with Dr. Santelises too. Like, I know it's a completely different topic, but I got a lot of people like respond, but it's my same old people who I already know going to do a great job. Like Shalom, we already know he going to kill it.
Yeah.
Marquay, he going to kill it. So I told everybody who responded, who already had a chance to lead something, I told everybody, I want to first see if somebody who hasn't led a big project, if they step up first. And just seeing what y'all just did just now, y'all are the perfect two to represent Baltimore's youth with something as big as that, something as important as that.
Simone, don't start laughing.
I think y'all should do it.
I agree.
We said, we'll do it. Okay.
Hey, yo, that's what I'm talking about. Commitment on the spot, y'all. And for anybody who don't know, Dr. Santelises is the CEO of Baltimore City Public Schools. She makes all the decisions, like she's the head honcho. So it's going to be a very, very important conversation. So
Y'all are gonna do great.
I know, right?
How do y'all feel after getting that out?
I feel good. I feel like it was something that needed to be said out loud because I think I kept it in a lot, and I think that I shared it with just Summer a lot. And I just felt like if it was something that everybody needed to hear, and it's something I needed to hear myself say out loud as well. I'm about to cry. Lord, hold on, I gotta stop talking. Go ahead. Go ahead. So for me, it was kind of like, this topic is something I'm really like passionate about. It's like, cause it's something I've been going through all the time. Like, it's not even just like relationship with like your love interest. It's kind of just like family and friends. It's kind of like, you know, by me saying this, it's something that I got off my chest. It's how I feel. And I usually don't tell people how I feel. Like, I'm really just kind of like a closed-in person. But by me sharing this out, I know I benefit people. And I know from like my personal experience, I know people had that connection. So it's kind of like, I feel good.
Yeah.
Like my jewelry.
Summer, what advice would you give to somebody who's like actively going through a hard relationship, like with a parent? Because I know we got at least like 4 kids who are in that like right now.
So what I would tell them is always try first. You know, it's not like trying when it hurt. It's like, try to tell them what's wrong with you. Try to tell them what you're going through. And if they accept it, then that's great. But if they don't, it's kind of like, if you go to a school that has counselors, this is what I did. I went to my counselor at my school and I kind of just let it all out because I had to. I couldn't keep it in. It was like really just a burden that I couldn't keep in because it was like I would cry and cry and cry over and over. And I just couldn't have that. I couldn't keep doing that. So I had to tell my counselor, and then she kind of gives you options. And if those options don't work for you, then only thing I can really say is just talk to yourself, kind of like tell yourself it's okay. Because I will constantly talk to myself, kind of tell myself, look, not everything is going to be okay right now, but you'll get through it. You know, just take your time, breathe, constantly breathing. And, you know, you're going to get through this. Because it was to the point where I was kind of like suicidal. But I know that wasn't right for me. So, you know, I just had to breathe. I honestly had to talk to myself because I was the only person there for me. Besides her, I was the only person there for me. So it's kind of like I just had to get through it somehow, some way. Because I know if I kept it in, it probably wouldn't have turned out right. So I just say, like, try to find resources, especially at school. But not since we're not in school. It's kind of like, if you have somebody you can trust, like a close friend or like a closer family member, then you need to talk to them because you need to get it out of your system.
And Todd just dropped a very powerful question for y'all. She said, how do you know if you are the toxic one? That just smacked me in the face.
Yeah,
That's a
why I
deep
said
question.
sometimes I think about that. I feel like you know you're the toxic one if you realize the other person being brought down. So basically everything that you think that you would feel if you were the person being under the toxic person, you should think about how they're feeling. And you should always check up on your partner, your family, your friends, and just see how they're doing. And like if you feel like their attitude towards you is shifting, maybe they are feeling some type of way about it, or maybe you're not doing something right, and maybe you should have a talk with them. Or I feel like you could be the toxic person if you just realize that you just have a lot of negative energy built up. Like it's not always your fault, because some people just like once everything just builds up and just hits you at once, you start to just become a negative person, and you have to just change that. But I feel like once you begin like to see yourself being angry a lot or sad a lot, and maybe you should just check up on your friends, let them know that, okay, I'm going through a hard time right now. And maybe like let them know that I'ma just need a little bit of support right now. And I'm just don't mind anything I say right now. Just be there for me. And I think you should let them know that, because once you start to be like that, it can be hard to stop it. And I don't want you don't want to just be that person that everyone thinks is negative all the time.
Yeah, Zoe got a great question too. She says, what changes have you seen within yourself since that toxic relationship?
Definitely happiness.
Great question.
I'm happy. Like
I feel like it just took a weight off your shoulder. Like when I was with that, it was always something I was worrying about, something that would bring me down, something every day, to the point where you got to be worried about who hitting your Instagram DM, because if they hit saying you pretty, you'll have an argument. I feel like it's just like it take a weight off your shoulder. Like you just feel happy. You feel like you don't owe anything to anyone. You don't have no responsibility to no one. It is, you feel free, honestly, to put it in these like simple words.
Honestly, I'm just happy. Like getting that burden off your shoulders, it's just, I don't even know what to say. It's like she kind of said it. Nice. Like I don't even know. It's just I just feel like I'm a better me now that I'm not in the relationship. You know, I feel like I worked on myself, and I know what what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. Yeah, I know what I'm capable of. So it's kind of like that was just like a lesson for me. I just gotta work on myself. Like stop worrying about other people. Kind of just focus on yourself for right now. And I'll be like that for a little minute. So yeah.
Miss Simone, did you have any questions? Those were the questions from the chat so far.
I have a question for y'all, because y'all said you gotta be direct and you gotta like be open and honest, but like sometimes that's not always easy and comfortable, especially if you're dealing with a toxic person, so how do you what are some tools you use before you have that conversation to make sure that you can stay on the right page and you don't get distracted and you can be direct and open and honest and get it out?
I would say go into the situation knowing what your main point is. And then, because oftentimes when you're about to break up with someone or y'all about to talk about something serious, they can change your mind in the spot, because they are allowed to they persuade you while you're having a conversation. So I feel like you should always stick to your main point. No matter what the other person says, you should remain on that point and go in there with the set mindset that nothing they say can change you. Because if you go in there thinking I'll break up with this person and they give you a kiss, you just gotta have a strong mindset. You gotta realize that, okay, this is good, this is not good for me. So you gotta just go in there and just end it. And then you also gotta remember that, like I said, with the kiss, you gotta remember that you're going in there for a reason. Do not just be persuaded by any actions they do or anything they can say to you, because you've experienced it for so long. That one little thing they're gonna say in that moment to keep you is not gonna help.
That's good.
Yo, that's powerful. And Zoe got this amazing question, y'all. She says, have you ever fallen back into a toxic relationship, not on purpose, but because it was something you were used to for a while? Wow.
That's good.
Wow. That's a good first.
It's deep, ain't it? But it's real. It's real.
It is real. It is.
Okay, so with mine, I have unfortunately. It was just like I was used to, being treated the way I was being treated. And I was just used to that. I never seen different, I didn't see kind of like a healthy relationship. It was just always toxicity in the relationships that I was in. So it was like this one person kind of going back to like everything was great. And then he started showing signs of toxicity, trying to like blame everything on me. Kind of making me feel down about myself. And then we stopped talking for a little bit. And then he said a few words, I can't remember, but he said some words to kind of persuade me to get back into the relationship. And then it was everything all over again. So it was like, I was depressed, everything was brought down back on me. I would start questioning myself. Kind of, I don't even know. That's a deep question. Basically, yeah. I mean, it's not hard to, fall back into those toxic relationships since you're used to it with that person. It's kind of like, what you've been through. You just gonna always, I don't even know. I can't talk.
It happened to me too. I feel like, no matter how like strong of a minded person you are, so that person think I'm strong minded, I feel like it happened. With the last person, like I said, like we was up and down for a very long time, and I didn't really see the signs at first that I should just let it go. And it was even to the point where when we first separated, he asked me to come over his house. I went back over to the house, and then like we had an argument again, and it was like I shouldn't have did that. Like that was probably the final straw, because it was like once I got there, I thought we was coming to work things out, and then I got there, and it's just like we're arguing again about dumb stuff, and it's like it's nothing that's important to me. And I was just like, okay, so I just left the house, and I didn't stay for long at all, because I just like, okay, I just had to let it go at this point, and it was just it, and block the person and get out of my lives, and it was just that. Because like once I try to communicate to you multiple times that it's a problem, and then you still don't change, and you blaming it on me, it's just gotta go, honestly.
Y'all got a few more questions in the chat. Our time running down, so I definitely want to get to these questions because they're important and it's an important topic. But before that though, how old are y'all? Because it's like I'm listening to all this stuff and I'm like, I know y'all ain't no more than like 15 or 16.
Youngins. You know how old I am, 16?
I'm 16.
Both of y'all 16 and been through all this and so much wisdom. And these people that we talking about, are they within that same range or are they older?
Same range.
Mine was 18.
Okay.
Like around the same range.
Not the same.
Because sometimes you can see that play a factor too, where if you older, you think you can control and manipulate that situation with somebody younger, especially with the girls. Not saying it don't ever happen with the boys, but it's more prominent with the girls. But Ty said, I think the biggest lesson you can learn is to work on your baggage before you go into a new relationship. Like you wouldn't move dirty laundry into a new home. And Lamar wants to know, if you're both toxic for each other, what can be done to fix it, especially if they don't want to talk?
If they don't want to talk, I feel like it's nothing to be said.
It's not.
Because it's not, you can't force anyone to talk. And even if you could get them force them to talk, you can't make them say anything that you want to hear for real. Like you can't make them say the things that you want to hear, the things that they're like are really important. So I feel like if they don't want to talk, it's just not up to them to talk.
Nothing can be done, really.
Nothing. And if y'all both are toxic, I think that y'all both just need to step away. And if they don't want to talk, you step away from the relationship, because you don't want to be that person.
Zoe says, who or how did you notice your self-worth? Wow, in a toxic relationship.
I didn't. I didn't realize it until I left.
Only realized it till I left. Like,
yeah, I think so. Because it was like the person not asking you to always hype me up, but made me feel good about myself. Like if I'm sitting here beating myself down and telling you that I'm in my room crying, or telling you that I'm feeling like depressed and like suicidal right now, and I'm just telling you I don't want to talk, why are you just saying okay? Why are you not
helping?
Yes, why are you not helping? Why are you getting mad at me even when I'm telling you that I'm thinking about killing myself? It's not okay.
Jordan says, have you ever picked up on any of those bad habits that they had when you were in the toxic relationship? Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, good.
That's a great question.
I feel like,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Kind of like shutting myself off, not telling them what's wrong with me, because if the person before didn't care, why do I think that you're gonna care? Even though you are a different person, you probably have a different mindset. But it's like I'm kind of not like for people not caring about what I have to say or not like caring about how I feel. So I kind of shut myself off. I don't always tell you everything if I'm going through something. I kind of like just push you to the side, I guess you can say. And I don't really be meaning to do that, but it's like what I'm used to. I just do what I'm used to doing. So
yeah, I think that, and I think also when the person just showed you negative energy and they made you feel sad. So it's like when I'm feeling sad, I close myself off and I don't really communicate with the people who I'm supposed to, people who are good for me. So I feel like I could have transferred some of that negative energy to them that they transferred to me, because like they are just in a good mood and I'm just don't want to talk and I'm just closing down the conversation. And I feel like, yeah, they've definitely passed that, and I passed it to some people at some point.
Mm. That's real, Miss Simone.
Y'all, why'd y'all have to do it to us? Like, this is so, I mean, we need I'm sorry, I need a part 2.
Definitely need a part 2. It's
You
too
gonna cry.
important.
Absolutely.
Definitely, it's too important.
Yeah, because y'all, you're only 16, and I'm so glad y'all are getting this now and learn, because people who are 50, 60, this is like a universal kind of thing, because we're humans. We do life within relationships with people, and the quicker you can identify these toxic relationships and release yourself from them, so much better. Life is too short, and it is like, it sucks that you have to go through the toxic relationships. We hope and pray y'all don't have to be. Even if you do, you don't have to stay there. Please get out and use that experience to propel and move forward so that you never go back. Nothing in your story is going to hold you down unless you let it. You use that stuff to push you forward and talk and share and help other people break free, because we need to be glowing. Y'all are too beautiful and too young to be stressed.
Way.
That's
right? Way. Zoe said we need a girls group just to open up to one another. We can all connect for real, because this is a great topic. So look, everybody drop your IG handles in the comments, and y'all connect with each other. Like, that's the best way to do it as of right now until we can do something better. But yeah, put your IG handles in there and let's get to connecting.
Yeah, for real, y'all, because this is good. I feel like everyone can relate. You don't need to suffer in silence. You don't need to be closed off. And you can have those kind of constructive conversations. Like you said, am I the negative person? Like, I feel like you guys say, you don't want to transfer that, but just be intentional. Just like how, when you give a presentation, you want to have your title, you have the middle, and you have your closing. So just let people know, I know I'm not really in the best space right now, but I'm going to be intentional. Like, thank you for listening. That's like lifting up, just being grateful for that person, giving them a compliment. Like, thank you for being someone I can listen to. That helps to set the stage. Then you can let out your feelings, because we all need each other, and then find a way to lift it on a positive note, close it up, just kind of pull those things out of yourself. So we can have these kinds of conversations where you don't feel like you're being a burden, but you have to let it out.
Exactly. And Lamar talking about now he need to get back on. He gonna talk about it from a boy perspective.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. Or we could have the boys versus the girls, y'all.
We gonna win. So it don't matter.
I know y'all gonna win. They don't know that.
They don't know it. They don't.
Gotta at least make them feel like they got a chance.
Yeah.
I know who gonna win. Pew, pew. Yo. Lamar, get your other male friend who's going to accompany you on this, and we could do it just like this, the boys versus girls, and we can have that conversation about toxic relationships. I think that's going to be powerful. That's going to be a powerful situation. Yeah, I hate to cut this short because this was so good. Y'all did an amazing job. I know. Don't the time go fast?
It did.
Right? Especially when you're talking about something so good, but we need y'all jewels though. Y'all ain't going nowhere without giving us y'all jewels.
Okay, I wrote it down because I thought I was gonna forget it.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I told you last night I'm ready. All right. So my jewel was Don't lose yourself holding on to someone who will never find themselves. And I think this is important.
Y'all don't drop some flames for that one.
I think it's important because I was going to say don't lose yourself holding on to someone who may never find themselves, but it's okay if you don't find yourself now. It's okay, you got time. But if they're never going to find themselves, don't waste your time on them. You can't put all your energy into finding someone else and you don't have yourself found out yet. And that's it.
Whew. Come on, Summer.
Okay,
It's
so
summer in the
mine's
winter.
not as good as hers because I'm a little rusty on my jewels. But something that I've learned from this was don't rush into something if you don't know your self-worth first. So it's kind of like if I don't know who I am as a person first before getting to know somebody else and kind of building a relationship, hopefully with that person, it's like, I don't know what am I going to do? I can't go anywhere. I can't really, I can't learn nothing about myself. I can't gain nothing if I don't know what I'm worth first. So it's kind of like, yeah. Yes.
Ooh, yes. Come on, Miss Simone, close us out.
I can't go after that.
You got to. I know it's hard.
But I guess I'll just keep it simple. And I want everyone right now listening to this to know that you deserve the best love and happiness. I don't care what you've seen before. I don't care what your past. Tell yourself, remind yourself right now that you deserve love and happiness and you won't stop until you get it.
Yeah. Yo, I love it. Thank y'all so much. Lamar got his partner. He said Sean is coming on with him. So Miss Simone gonna help us get this whole collaboration, boys versus girls thing
Can we
going
do a
on.
four-way of this call?
Yeah, let's do a full way because
Just call me.
Yeah, no, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, however y'all want to do it, but we're gonna have all y'all on, and we just gonna battle it out.
Okay.
All I'm doing is ringing the bell. I gotta find the bell. Ding, 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 ding.
We will.
Yup, it had the cards. Knockout. 5, 4. Is he getting back up? I already know how it's gonna go down. But I see y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have beautiful souls. Y'all have beautiful stories, and I'm so glad that y'all using y'all stories to bless other people. Like this is what it's about. So thank you guys. I'm looking forward to part 2.
Okay. All right.
Thank
See
you.
y'all. See you, Miss Simone. I see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Bye, guys.
Y'all, oh my gosh, such a powerful conversation, y'all. I'm looking forward to this part 2. Lamar, Sean, y'all better bring it because you already see the girls is not playing with y'all. But y'all, we coming back in a few minutes, right at 11 with my man, Big Fred. It's about to be a whole comedy show, y'all. So dry your little tears. We about to get ready to laugh. Hey, y'all. We are back. My man Fred about to get in here, Big Fred. So dry y'all little tears. We about to have some happy tears now. It's about to get crazy in here. I'm telling y'all what I know. If you don't know Big Fred, he is Big Fred's Comedy. Let me see if this is him. This say a different name though, y'all. I hope ain't nobody trying to hack me. Let's see. There go my man. Looking like P. Diddy. Hey, Deborah, good morning.
Joni Joan.
Hey, Big Fred, what's up?
Hey, there we go. What's up, girl?
Yo, ain't nothing. How you doing?
I'm great. How about you? You know I love that shirt.
Oh, thank you so
No,
much.
I still don't have one.
Hey, yo, chill. You
What's up
crazy.
with it?
Man, what's up with you? Why are you looking all glitzy? Looking like P. Diddy on the video shoot. Where
Oh
you
no, that's the light from the thing. And you know, these are really prescription, right? So because they prescription, I wanted to make myself feel good. So I got the ones that turn the sunglasses when you go outside. You know what I mean? So that's all, man. You know, these, I wouldn't wear them if I ain't need them.
No, I'm talking about your background, like you in the club on set somewhere.
Oh, I'm at the Impact Hub and my computer blurry, but I like the vibe though. Let me see.
I'm like, yo, we supposed to be on lockdown.
Ooh,
You
I
out.
like this. It's better now. Yo, so I'm at the Impact Hub. So the office have been shut down, but I've been here like with my gloves and my mask, you know, like crazy, just getting it in.
We supposed to be in the house, yo, and you out with the road.
Yeah, I got to be having my Clorox with me. I got a holster for my Clorox. I be spraying myself, spraying people.
Well, good. I'm glad you keep it safe. We can't afford to lose you, man. Not you.
Most definitely. None of us, man. We've been doing some work for the census, and you know, it's still very important, you know, even though we in this time. So they've been working to make it a lot more convenient. But we still been out here with our masks on, practicing social distancing, just getting the word out.
Good.
Doing some videos. So if y'all see the skits and stuff like that, I had some comedians in the city do some different type of videos. Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. So look, let me just kind of get right into it. For my people who don't know you, can you do like a introduction of yourself? And I'm gonna give you a little warning. They like you to spill all the tea.
How much tea? Oh, I got a lot of tea.
Yeah, so they want to know like where you came from, whether or not you was in the ghetto. Like they want to know all that. How did you, you know, kind of get to where you are, that type of stuff.
All right, straight up. So HeartSmiles, what's up, y'all? What's up, all the friends, associates, you know, here today this morning. Thank y'all for waking up early. I'm Fred, Big Fred Watkins. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. Blessed to be from Baltimore. I'm from East Baltimore. I'm at the Impact Hub. This is so funny. We're gonna have a couple of these during our conversations. Y'all have a couple of them right now in y'all life, but it's like I call them like breadcrumbs, right? We always come back to them. So I'm on North Avenue at my office. I was born on North Avenue on Astor Street, like couple blocks up, right next to March Funeral Home. Like, so I'm the first house is next to March Funeral Home. My father, when he passed away, he you know, buried in all that March Funeral Home. So everything, you know, came full circle. I lived there for maybe until I was maybe 6 or 7. We moved to West Baltimore. I was on Calhoun and Lombard, between Lombard and Pratt for a little while. Went to Franklin Square. So if any of y'all went to Franklin Square, went to Store Hill, 2 elementary schools, moved again, came back, then we moved down the hill. My whole family is down the hill, house on house, everybody borrowing each other sugar. Everybody just around there. So we moved on Chester and right next to Big Gaddy. So Big Gaddy's that property, you know, that shelter is right there. And their house, it's a space, right? And then the first house was our house. I think it's 410, I think, Chester Street. And yeah, so that was that. We moved to Orleans, so that's where I'm from. Something was always different. I was talking to someone about this yesterday. Like something in me was always different, even though I was the same, you know, knucklehead, ran around, did a lot of different things. I always had like this thirst to see something different. I don't know. So I would walk, like I would go down Patterson Park a lot by myself and just sit by the lake. I know it might sound crazy, but I would sit by the lake and just kind of like drift off because I always felt like it was something, you know, beyond what it was. And I remember even, you know, being a little knucklehead, man, getting caught up and even getting falsely accused of about 7 false charges, right? Grand theft auto, unauthorized driving. The officer had lumped me up real bad, so they had to put resisting arrest to justify, you know, beating up a little boy like that. And it was crazy. But I remember going through the courts and everything, and being downtown and telling my mother, like, Mom, like, look at all these suits. What they doing? What they wearing? I want to do that. I had no idea what anybody was doing, but it was different than what I seen like a mile up the street on Orleans and Chester and Jeffs. So that was my first introduction to just kind of wanting to be in a different, you know, space. And it's just crazy. So it's a lot. It's so many things in our lives and in my life specifically that means everything and leads everything to my profession as a comedian, right? And as a storyteller, as a mentor and all that. But in just telling the story is so different. It's taking so many different angles. You're like, huh? You like, Fred, what? You got locked up, you beat up Fred. But all these things in collection make us perfect for what we do, you know? So I could keep going, but you gotta moderate me. We could go forever.
You say you got you're doing a great job. So talk to us about what you're doing now with, is it Little Laughs? Little Laughs?
Little Laughs. So look, this for y'all. I don't know which way y'all take it, but you know that's how we talk. So that's how we went and did it. So it's incorporated as Little Laughs. And some people like, it's a little. I'm like, no little, it's little. Like some people, then there's other people. I'm talking to kids, they're like, it's little. I'm like, no, it's little. Like,
I'm glad you ain't do the LOL.
Everybody in the middle. I'm bringing everybody to the middle. Yeah, so Little Laughs, it's a youth development program, anti-bullying focused, confidence enrichment. The moment I started to do comedy, right, I broke my neck. That's how I started doing comedy. Like I was always like a funny guy, fractured my neck, like a real random, unfortunate accident. And I kind of fell into depression. I lost a homeboy at the time, like a couple days later, and comedy is what brought me out, like watching a roast. So I knew when I started comedy, it would be something more than just, you know, performance. I knew it was going to be something intentional. Community programming, like good people in community programming saved my life. Cause you know, Joni, like it's a lot of people that in a lot of systems that can exploit, you know, communities and these type of things. So when you got good people, right, real people on these platforms, that's what makes a difference. And good people in community programming saved my life. So I always knew that in some way, shape, or form I'd be giving back. So when I started comedy, it was almost like simultaneous that I had the idea for Little Laughs, but it was like, yo, you gotta wait. You know what I mean? We did a TV show. We was blessed to do, me and a couple of friends from Baltimore. Shout out to all them stars, the rapper, Dav, Ivy Sierra. We did Last Squad Standing. It was Oxygen's first and last reality competition show. And then Oxygen sold itself as a network and became the crime thing that you see today. But we won the show. And when we came back home, everybody was like, yo, boy, you got to move to Cali. Like, I mean, what else? Like, you know what I mean? And even being in Cali and filming the show, the networks we created and all that. And honestly, I'm a man of God. And I felt like God was like, yo, you can't move. Like God was like, yo, don't move yet. Like God was like, don't move. And I didn't know why, right? And Oxygen was like, yo, bro, even though y'all won the show, so we owe y'all money for doing the show and we owe y'all money for winning the show. We not paying y'all none of it until the show is over. Like, and the show didn't even air. So it's like, so we can only foresee, like, what you mean? Like, is that 8 months, 9 months? And they was like, and while the show is on, we would prefer if y'all don't have a job. So everyone else kind of did their thing anyway, like independently. I was the only one that did comedy, but that went full time. So I'm like, yo, what can I do? So in the midst of all that, I did AmeriCorps, right? I was like, yo, this would be dope because I'll be on TV at the same time that I'm in the community and people already know me as a comedian. And I just feel like it makes sense. And then I get a little couple of hours. And I did that. And in doing that, you know, God brought me back to the nonprofit systems, you know, start learning different things from executive level. And I went and I started Little Laughs for real. Cause outside of that, we was just going to schools and we were going broke going to schools. Like we just wanted to be in the schools. It was like, wait, people would let you, nah, you got to create a business, like create a system that you can, you know, sustain yourself and you can really empower youth and empower others, you know, communities the right way.
Yeah. So what's your connection to bullying then? So how comedy and bullying?
Yeah,
How did
absolutely.
you marry those?
So one of the reasons that I found out that I was funny, right, is from not just trying to evade bullies and even pat people back when I got that type of confidence. Really, I didn't even get that type of confidence. It's kind of like, you know, when you just had a wall and you just got to fight because you had to, that's what it was. I wasn't confident, but I was like, look, man, I ain't going to keep coming to school, getting packed up. So that's when I started to joke around and stuff like that. But even bigger than that, and this is what we emphasize in Little Laughs, it was more so just like the bully in me, right? Not to sound cliche, but how much I started to beat myself up, right? And went against myself that made me really have an importance to want to put that message right back out to youth. Like, hold up, it's a lot of people that go around and they say, hey, you know, bullying is wrong and you shouldn't bully other people. But a lot of time, the biggest effects out of all these situations through our school and through our lives is what we put on ourselves. You know what I mean? And it's often fueled from other people, but you got people that's super popular, nice, got all the money, all the whatever in school, and they hate themselves. Or they really, and they're not pleased with themselves. So it's way bigger than just that act of, you know? So that's one of the things that we really wanted to center just our message and our voice around, just confidence, enrichment, and self-identity in one. So we attack bullying from the inside out.
Okay. So is it you going to talk to people who are victims of bullies, or like you talking to the school systems? Like, how are you identifying those people who need you the most? And I'm saying this because I know like 2 or 3 kids right now actively being bullied in school and nothing really is happening at all.
Yeah, so when we stepped into this, one of the things, Joni, that was striking to me was the lack of, right, like the big void of services directed to bullying and things like that, like within the school system. It's not really any services, no hotline, you know, state or city, you know, focused. And I wonder why, right? So I'm like, yo, Fred, you're a comedian, you know, you got a positive intent. But wow, like when you talk about no systems really being available, that's like a tall order. So the main thing that we do is really encompass our message around all youth. Number one, right? Because we don't necessarily know who is being bullied. We don't know the target, but we can assume every youth has went through this in some way, shape, or form. In that, we do have ourselves open to build relationships within our after school programs. And that's just a blessing that we're able to do that just with the consistency that we see the youth. One of the areas that we're trying to strengthen right now is that availability for students that we aren't in schools that we may not be affiliated with, or just trying to be available, you know, to citywide. And once again, it is just us. So, you know, we've been trying, but to answer your question, so we've been available, we talk, we mentor, but we're really focused on starting something within the city that we can operate on ourselves, that youth can find us, instead of having to be, you know, affiliated with a school. I hate when a student sees us or at a one-off event or sees us on social media and they reach out and we don't go to their school, you know what I mean? Or we don't have a relationship with their school. So we're really, you know, we noticed that and we're alarmed by it, and we're really focused on trying to, but starting something to service that. And you can see by how I'm even saying it, it's something that we really stand convicted by, like, because it's so prevalent. And once again, we look around and there really isn't a lot of systems. Thank God for programs like yourself that really help empower and heal youth anyway. But as far as bullying focus, there's really not a lot of availability or a lot of resources.
Yeah, it's not. So like, can you talk a little bit about like what the experience is for a young person? I'm getting bullied. I'm not getting any help really. Big Fred is walking around in my school.
Absolutely. So we're so open. And that's one of the things that we take pride in. Please come holler at us. And I think Joni knows some of the youth from HeartSmiles. Please come holler at us. And the good thing is we're constantly available for those interactions. Even if we're not in your school, on social media, you can definitely reach out to us. You can even, you know, contact us via email. And that's something that we like to do. We start to talk directly with the youth, but at moments when we find out what school they're at, we're immediately trying to see what we can do to kind of get into the school as well, just because it's that important. You know, if we're having one conversation, then we know if someone's saying that they're being bullied, then that means it's a bully. you know, at the school. Then there's other kids being bullied. So that's a lot of times youth act as like liaisons to that point, right? Like alerting the school they can act as liaisons, alerting the school that we even exist, right? And do we, you know, are needed at the school? A lot of times it is the youth and the power that the youth has to kind of help that motion. But please just contact us in any way. We are starting to produce programming that we're going to put on YouTube, which I think is really cool because once again, it's an inside out thing. So a lot of times people that may not even admit these things can access some of our content and our programming on YouTube. And, you know, we're praying that really helps uplift and empower a lot of youth as well.
Yeah,
And entertain too. I mean, we it's funny too. Like that's sometimes, and that's the peaks and valleys, man. It's so serious, but we use comedy to kind of open the door for this uncomfortable type of conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Lamar wants to know, have you ever been to Coppin? I think he's talking about Coppin Academy, the high school that's in.
Why do I feel? No, we haven't been to Coppin Academy. We haven't. We've met some of their students at different one-off events. We haven't been there in just a formal type of partnership at all.
Okay. And is it workshops? Is it like
so we have several forms of engagement, right? So we have our assembly style, right? And that's of course just our big type of, that's the closest thing to just a comedy show, because kids, students, all youth deserve to be entertained, of course, going through the weeks of the years of school. We have our 16-week curriculum, which is a Little Labs Link Up, which is an after or in-school program that's infused within the school. And then we have our Link Up workshops, which is a school or program can, you know, bring us out. A lot of times, Joni, when our programs kind of merge, it's usually a Link Up workshop that we're doing in company with a workshop that you are usually doing. We have a teacher comedy workshop we do. That's like one of our favorite things outside of just engaging with the youth, because oftentimes us adults, we feel like we get old and the things that we faced as youth, we don't have that no more, right? So like if you used to be a bully as in high school in 12th grade, you turn 18 and you just suddenly aren't a bully anymore. Like a lot of adults, we subscribe to that. So I really love the teacher comedy show because we go into the schools and we remind the teachers and the adults that oftentimes we're going through right now some of the same things that the youth go through, because we went through it and it's never left. We never dealt with it. We go into schools and we teach it, not teach, but we share with adults means how to use laughter as a benefit, you know, in the classroom instead of just labeling the whole class clown thing. And you know, we empower that way, and that works. The teachers love it. We've had great reviews. We've been blessed to do over 10 schools this year when we launched it. And it's been cool. Principals love it. You know, it makes professional developments better because it's fun. It's not as, you know, dull, and it's cool. So I'm interested in continuing to do that. We've got a lot of great reviews on the teacher comedy show, and I'm interested in recording some of them, working with schools to actually let the kids, the students, see them, because I think the students would be real, you know, not just entertained, but really impressed and surprised to see how similar adults are when we are in those same, you know, settings.
Yeah, that is awesome. So you teaching teachers how to play off of that class clown that's in their class.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's fun. I'm telling you, it's fun. and we, you know, we get other comedians in the city involved. So shout out to all them, all my comedian facilitators. It's really fun. So it's a comedy show, and then it's a workshop, and it's in professional development. So it's nothing close to what you used to. And once again, we've had a good amount of schools to start, and we look forward to doing that and just taking that up as well.
That is awesome. We got some young people questions and comments here. So
young people, what's up? Yeah, I'm gonna crack my oatmeal if y'all don't mind. I got the oatmeal right there waiting for me.
Do what you do.
Warm oatmeal.
Do what you do. So Nira asked me if I could talk about the ideas I had about correcting the bullying situation. I'm gonna talk about that later. I'm gonna let Fred have his shine. But yeah, definitely we might have to link up, because I'm working on putting together something around leadership and bullying, because my belief is that bullies are leaders who are just misguided. They're just using their power the wrong way.
Yeah.
And if we can tap into that and help them do something positive, then we'll be better. So Nira, we're going to save that one. Todd says, how can some of us network and mentor with your program?
Oh, wow. Thank you. So just contact info@lillabs.com. If it's better for you to use social media, please just send me a direct message. I'm Big Fred Comedy, or Lil Labs, LILLAUGHS _. Just send us a DM. I think we're pretty functional. It depends on whatever platform that we be working in, and maybe some further logistics. But yeah, we're pretty functional. We'd love to have any volunteers, any assistance, or anything. Thank you. Any guidance, information? Yeah, we're open and we're young. You know, we're gonna be forever young too, because it's youth led. I mean, that's the goal. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, these teenagers right here, Nera also said, what outlets can you provide the youth victims that are dealing with cyber bullies? That's a great question, Nera.
Yes, definitely. So our cyberbullying is something that we've addressed directly in some of our in-person workshops. We are taking that to, that's basically our first subject that we're doing with our YouTube series. So thank you, Nera, for saying that. Cyberbullying is something that I'm actually doing research on. The fact that we took bullying has really taken me personally into another direction just as a man, right? Just with the things that I've had to prepare myself with, the information I really had to immerse myself. It's kind of like going through school again, definitely. So to answer your question there, as far as resources and outlets, did just expression, outlets of expression, whether that's artistic, whether that's therapeutic, actual professional services, because it really is serious, the emotional trauma that it breeds. And I would say that for right now, as we continue to build, when we go into schools, comedy and the forms of comedy is one of the outlets that we put out there as a form of expression for said trauma, right? So creative writing, storytelling, and doing that in a group of others that have went through similar things, right? To help kind of build comfortability, confidence, and just know that it's other people that are going through the same thing. Even though we all can assume such, is different when you actually have that type of experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. Taylor, I think you might have already answered this first one, but she wants to know how she can help because she's a bully activist. And she says bullying is a huge, huge problem for her. Okay. So she should.
Is Taylor in school?
Yeah. So Taylor, you were senior though, right? Taylor's a senior. She's 18. So class of
Taylor, I think thank you, Taylor, for even asking, and thank you for what you're doing, what you've done. I think one thing that could help is so we're low laughs, right? So even though we work with all grade levels, I've noticed that with the junior and seniors, right, just at first glance, because we're low laughs, it's kind of like a man, these little kids, I ain't got no time. And then we come through, and then of course we tailor our content and to older students, right? And then they might see us, they look on our Instagram and see someone's pregnant, they're like, hold up, yo, wait a minute, yo, you are. So then we back good. But at first glance, that's oftentimes I've seen that's kind of like a hurdle, like to get started. So Taylor, I think maybe we can work. Maybe we can do something virtual with your school for the seniors, like in transition to colleges. One thing I think is so cool, right? And I mean this, I said this with the adults. I went to a school, I can't say the school, I'm not gonna say the school, but I went to a school in Baltimore City in September, and they had a new principal. And all the teachers were in there for the professional development. And the principal came in there and was like, hey, y'all, I actually put y'all names at certain seats. I thought, I would like for y'all to sit there. And she was like, y'all can take a minute and do that. And these teachers got up so slow and draggy. And I'm like they look like kids. So that's number one. People on their phones and stuff. So whenever it's oftentimes we see whenever people are in a different position to wear a hat, they're gonna wear. So oftentimes the things that adults tell youth when they're in that position as a student or have to listen, we're doing the same things, right? So it's just cool. We do freshman level colleges, and they freshmen, so they open and they listen. But seniors in high school are like, nah, yo, man, I don't know what this is, sure, you know what I'm saying? So it's just the dynamics, you know what I mean? I just think that's so cool. I'm sorry I had to ramble like that to get to the point, but it's something, just being in front of people in an intentional way instead of just doing stand-up like how I used to. I've just noticed so many things and just how people just communicate and interact. It's real cool to me.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And Taylor also says, how have you impacted youth lives? Like where they come to you and you told them how to help?
Wow. Goodness. So the greatest opportunity we've had for that has been our after school programs. just because I've been there and we've had the, you know, the ability to consistently see youth. Goodness, outside, I mean, it's a lot. Let me get one. At Mervo last year, we had two of my students. One day, you know, I was coming into the after school program and I was going up the stairs, and one of my students was trying to grab another one from going outside to, you know, scrap. They was, you know, getting ready to fight. So of course I pulled them up, you know, I brought both of them to the room, and, you know, we discussed the situation. And what stuck out so much is that this was a bullying program, and, you know, every day we coming in and we never had this conversation. They had never shared it, but the guy was about to go fight because he was tired of the guy, like, I guess, picking with him, you know what I mean? Like messing with him. So just holding them, not just holding them in there and keeping them away from the fight, but just being able to really realize it. It kind of hit me like, wait, not, you know, you're pushing this programming out and kids are enjoying it, but then it's still like a real life that you might not always be invited to, you know what I mean? For whatever reasons, you know? And I just think that at that moment, I took more of a deeper dive into just the relationship building and the mentorship of it. I can't lie, for the next like 2-3 weeks, I took both of them home, you know what I mean? Just to make sure, you know, everything was everything. But I would say that's one example. I had a young lady that was having some trouble with, I would say cyberbullying, but it was definitely cyberbullying. It was more private, I guess, harassment through like direct message. And she didn't want to tell her father because she didn't want her father to know that she had, you know, I guess, like prior involvement with the young man, you know. So just having those opportunities to just build and empower and really protect in some instances with young people. These are things that I would assume if I could have figured, but, you know, when this work, but then when you're faced with them, it's like, yeah, like, you know, like it's, and it really challenges you as a person, right? It challenges me as a man, because it's like, wait a minute, like, you know, you wanted to do this and this comes with this, like, you know what I mean? And one of the main reasons we started is because of the void and the lack and lacks of support. So then you face that in that context as well. So, thank you for your question. So every time it happens, it's always opportunity we take advantage of, but it's always, you always wish that it was just more support, more help, and just the things were better, period, even in the household sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. You got some affirming comments here. Lamar said, I feel like bullies are people who are just using their great talents for evil because no one has ever taught them the right way. So they're just doing what they know. Taylor said, bullies are bullies who once hurt people. Yeah, bullies were bullied once. Hurt people. Zoe said, bullies were either taught to bully or they were bullied before. No one is born a bully. It just doesn't work that way. And Ty says, adults are also bullies. Everything is a learned behavior. And it doesn't make it right to understand, just gives you a different view. Absolutely. Fred, can you talk about a time where you had to make a joke about something that was serious, but like you were trying to make light of it? Like an example was like, I felt like a lot of people made fun of the Columbine situation way too early before people could laugh. Right. Like, can you talk about a time where you had like a situation like that?
In this work or just in my life?
Well, I guess kind of like blended together. Yeah, whatever is relevant, because I think that's a fine line for comedians. So like, even like right now, I can't imagine anybody making a joke about Kobe Bryant and his daughter, but yet some people are attempting to do it. And it's just like, yo, really? Wow.
Yeah, and that's really like an age-old battle. Like, you had some of the greatest comics, like Dave Chappelle always says, like, I'll go to bat, you know, I'll fight for any joke, like anything in the art of comedy in its purest form. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's too early, he was like, if it's made in its purest form, you know, I'll fight for it, right? And then you have other people that's like, nah, bro, like too soon, baby. Or like, you know, I think me personally, when I was young, right, goodness, 9/11 happened, since we just being like super real. And I was in 7th grade. And I remember I didn't know what it was. I just remember seeing on the little corner of the TV something going to the building and the tower. And I was outside. And I'm being honest with y'all, since this real, raw, uncut, unfiltered. I was seventh grade. Big Fred was running around, and I was like going behind the kids, and I was like, boom, boom, boom. And I turned around for my last boom, and I bumped the principal. The principal was like, Fred, what the, and jacked me up like she wasn't supposed to put her hands on, but I think she was so whatever, and I wasn't even that kid, but for whatever reason, I just wanted all the attention. I wanted all the vibes that day, and I got right real quick. That was my introduction to, boy, don't be playing with stuff, and this is time and place to be playing with stuff. Wow. And yeah, that was that. Now, as I got older, we all walk that line as actual professional comedians, and me personally, I don't think that I've went into that, but I've seen it all the time. I did an open mic 2 weeks ago where I said that it shouldn't be anyone on Murder Inc. because everybody should be quarantined. Like, how is people still winding up, and people laughed at that and nobody said anything, but I was the one talking to a friend later on that night, and I thought about it again. And I was like, yo, you think I crossed the line with this or something like that? Because I'm usually walking I'm usually, you know what I mean? So it's other people that would say that and not care, even if you did have something to say about it. So it's an age-old thing, and it's always going to be an age-old thing.
Wow, that's great perspective, though. I'm surprised that principal ain't knocked you upside your head. You came behind him with a boom.
Y'all don't judge me because I'm being real with y'all, because we supposed to be unfiltered.
No, I ain't judging. I'm just saying, like, yo, 9/11 though, like.
And you guys, I'm in 7th grade. I barely knew that New York was a state. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just heard it before. Like, I didn't know nothing about nothing. So all they told us is y'all get to leave. And you don't got to have your bus ticket, and you can still get on the bus. I was used to not having my bus ticket, and the bus driver, tell me I had to dip. So they like, yo, don't matter, you got a bus ticket. Everybody on the bus. It's all this chaos. I'm like, oh, this crazy. Yeah, it wasn't good.
You are crazy. Nira said, as far as community leadership, what advice can you give to youth leaders that want to start building a foundation for themselves, but don't have the resources and support to help them? It's a good question.
Oh, man, that is such a great question. So I think number one is know that and feel really encouraged and empowered by that all the resources and support you need and is going to come to you, start here. Like 100%. It's so cool that I get to say that to you, because for the last 40 minutes, I was talking about how I was born on North Avenue on Ask Street and whatever. So everything that we're talking about right now, even just having the nonprofit, being a young Black man, all that stuff is real. So when I say it really starts here, it really starts here. Like Joni and I 3 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, some time ago, was walking to Popeyes, and we was having this conversation. Yep. Right? We were talking about how, like, the support. Hold up, John.
Yo, you about to put the camera on Popeyes. You so dumb. Don't put a piece of chicken in this daggone screen, yo.
So Joni we was having a conversation. We were talking about support, and you're young, right? We was still like grown, like younger. We were not 20, you know what I mean? So we were having this conversation like, yo, there's no support, and we trying to do the right thing, good things. And we agreed between our 5 piece, I forget what it was, that I had 2 biscuits, but we agreed though, before we finished our dinner, that we were all we needed and that we were going to move forward and do great things. And every single time I seen Joni since then, it's been a lot of times, but every single time we've been able to look at each other and say, dang. Each time it's a level up, each time from that conversation. So number one, before you start anything, it's all here, right? So you start to write it down. Start to put down what that looks like. If y'all go to my my Instagram, and maybe you can Google it if you don't want to follow me, but if you go to my Instagram and you go to my story, I just put 2 like business model, like logic models, one from Issa Rae and the other one from Walt Disney. I don't really rock with Walt Disney, but as far as the business of it, right? So you get to see in the middle Issa Rae Productions, and then you see it pan out to things that she's done, things that she's gonna do, and all that. So you write these things down while it cooks up here, and then you research, you learn, you just kind of swim around it, you just throw yourself in it. I was a stand-up comic. I acted here and there. I knew that I would do something, for the community. I never knew what it was. When I knew it had to be little laughs, I knew that I had to immerse myself in community and systems and not community from a community aspect. I don't think I ever left the community, but the community from an intentional grassroots type. I had to learn that stuff. And so that's what I would say. So do that. The great thing is you here right now. You here with HeartSmiles, you here with Joni. The network here is incredible. I'm on Zoom, so I can't see the comments like y'all. So like follow some of them people that's comment and then in network, put yourself out there. Matter of fact, put your email right there, your social media so you can follow. But I think that's a great start. And then continue. So you're not gonna get everything at once. I think that's a good start. And just keep going and keep building. It's gonna come to you as long as you want it. You're like demanding it every day, as long as you want it.
Absolutely. And Big Fred, while you on that, can you speak a little bit too about the crab mentality? Because you can't call yourself a community leader. You can't complain about no support, no resources or nothing. If when people come to you and ask you for help, you turn them down, but yet you expecting help for somebody else. That ain't right.
Yeah, that ain't right. So
why we do that to each other, Big Fred?
Well, I think we do. It's a lot of reasons, right? It's a lot of reasons. So the same way how people said about bullies, it's the learned behavior, it's things you saw, it's things you've heard. Y'all, I heard Eric Thomas say before, right? He was like, yeah, he was talking about racism. He's talking to a whole bunch of different people in the room. And he was like, yeah, racism exists. Yeah, it definitely exists. I'm a black man in America, but am I gonna cry about it? Is it gonna bring me down? Am I still gonna be the number one motivational speaker in the world? Is it gonna stop me? No, right? But it does exist. So I feel for the youth because you all have so much that works against you. We all had it. You got so many things that work for you, but just some of the communication, some of the behavior, some of the generational just locks and just barriers is horrible. And a lot of us in our generations and our families haven't done the best job to give us the best, opportunity, to give y'all the best opportunity. So we acknowledge that. Boom, cool, is it acknowledged? But you still gotta do better, right? So at that point in time, it's not this Baltimore or this how it is or the whatever. Consistently look forward. I told a grown man on the phone the other day, and then not down to him. I'm saying that we're tenured in this to an extent. Like we've been on earth for a couple years. So I was talking to this guy on the phone, and even him being older than me, I was like, yo, bro, I was like, I keep learning things and I'm interested in ways and business practices that's not common to what I've seen in Baltimore. Because I can only really do what I've seen, but what I've seen hasn't worked for me really, and it hasn't worked for a lot of people here. So I gotta just believe that it's different out there. And for a while, like I would have friends, my good brother DJ Flo, right? Shy Glizzy DJ. In 92Q, some of y'all know Flo, but we were speaking once. And he would tell me, we've known each other about 10 years now. He went to school again. He would tell me all the time, like, yo, Baltimore different, Baltimore different. A lot of us, we think, at least me, I would always subscribe to the thought that Baltimore was the same as the black part of whatever city. Like it was no different, right? Like people kind of thought the same, did the same things, but I had to really start listening when black people coming in Baltimore and telling me the Baltimore different for the good and for the opposite. I gotta listen because I'm not gonna be able to fully empathize, but I gotta start believing them. It is certain things that's different, like it is certain aspects, good and bad. So even with that crab in the barrel mentality, like it exists, but we can't subscribe to it. We got to start not just traveling more and putting ourselves out there, even traveling more online. Like my homegirl was in an open mic in London the other morning and it was night, or vice versa. And I'm like, damn, you could have did that. You could have did that months ago, but it's the quarantine that encourage you to do that. And we in down the hill on the phone, but it felt like we was in Great Britain, you know what I mean? So start doing that more so we can start to kind of infuse Baltimore's like osmosis. Like we can start to infuse Baltimore with like a different culture, keeping our best, but I'm saying, different practices, different, all that stuff, man, because a lot of the things that's routine here don't work as much.
Absolutely. You ain't even lying, man. And the more you give away, the more blessings come to you. That's why I don't mind sharing an idea, a product, a resource, whatever. You can have it. Go ahead.
And I do have, so Eric Thomas, right, guy, because that's my guy, right? That's one of my guys. Y'all got to find people. Like Joni is one of my peoples, and I'm blessed to know her. Eric Thomas is somebody else. I'm blessed to meet him, but you got to find your people, right? So Eric Thomas, I went to see him in Miami, and he has a guy that he always references named CJ. CJ younger than him. So CJ spoke at this conference, and I knew CJ was like the technical guy. I didn't know he spoke. So I'm listening. I'm like, dang, yo, CJ been with Eric Thomas. Yo, he learned how to speak a little bit. Nah, CJ let all of us know that day, yo, I've been spoke. When I met Eric Thomas, we met as speakers. But when I would speak, people would be like, oh, that's what's up. When Eric Thomas would speak, people would be crying and going all crazy and giving their life. And then crying. He like, yo, so I had to say, we could keep both speaking forever, or I could realize the difference, you get what I'm saying? And I could understand and say, all right, bet, what can I do? How can I perfect? How can I help put, you get what I'm saying? And so Eric Thomas references him all the time because he, in his sacrifice, built the platform that allowed Eric Thomas to get it. So your obedience, you know, lead to other people's destiny. You get what I'm saying? Like what you choose to do can help somebody else. And that's the same thing for us in Baltimore. We about to release this this sketch comedy Saturday Night Live Jiffy with a lot of the comedians in the city. It's dumb funny. I was up last night working on the trailer, and we just shot that for a year, right? Last year, just different boom, 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 boom. But I had to thank the guy, Taz, right? It's shot by Taz, Cannon Boy Taz. I had to thank him because I'm like, bro, your obedience in this matter led to everybody else's destiny, because you're the only one that's not a comic. You're the only one that was able to deal with everybody BSing on the schedule, like get it all crazy. And that's what it is with us, y'all. As we network, we got to think like my obedience, doing little lads, right? Your obedience, Johnny. Come on, stand up again. Hold up.
Man, chill, Frank. You crazy. I cannot, yo.
Hey, yo, so you know what it is, y'all, but that's what it is. Thank y'all. These amazing questions. I'm ranting. So
man, no, I love it. I love it. Taylor said, how do you stay motivated? That's a good question, Taylor.
All right, so you gotta have your source, right? So my source, my this is just me being honest with you all. You know, my source comes from God, 100%. Like I give everything to God, because I feel like, me personally, I feel like I told this to somebody yesterday. I was like, yo, we done seen too many people like leave us, right? Too many talented people, dope people, unfortunate things happen, just all this stuff, right? Like, so it's like, I'm not here just because I'm smarter than somebody else, so I know how to fight real good, or that. Like, I always got a reference. So the fact that I always got a reference, or reverence, the fact that I always got a reverence is always like all right, so you here for a reason. You get what I'm saying? So that's the platform. And some days are better than others, of course, like everybody bluffs, but that's like where it starts at. Like, dang, boy, you here. You get what I'm saying? So like, you know what I mean? It's nothing worse than just kind of being here. And a lot of people just do that. So you always want to just consistently remind yourself, like, dang, yo, I'm here. Look at your hands sometimes, like, yo, these work. Like, hold up, shorty. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? So I think that's not that's number one. Number two is actually more tangible things, like what you put in, like your music, just your memories, you know what I mean? Your plans, your goals, just those things, like just attaching yourself to something. Like, just picture a whole bunch of like something flying, and if you grab it, you're going with it. Like, you just got to keep attaching yourself to stuff. Keep attaching yourself to stuff so you can keep moving. Because oftentimes, even with what we're dealing with right now, things are made to make you heavy, and things are made to make you stagnant, and things that make you, so it's like you got to grab stuff to kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of just take you places. And then you could be that for somebody else too. You could literally be, you know, a person that somebody can grab to sometimes, you know what I mean? And they gone for a while too. So you just got to keep yourself focused on that. And trust me, like, being in this work, like I went through it a lot. Like, I'm talking about, like, and I think all of us have, anybody that's young people, especially, that's trying to start a business, that's really just a platform for young people, but it got to be a business so everybody can sustain and grow and stuff. That's a lot, man. Like, that's a lot. And sometimes you go home thinking like, dang, yo, like, I mean, dang, like, if a youth was inspired with me, but they go home and their house situation is what it is, or the music is what it is, or whatever, like, yo, when you making sense. So like, then sometimes I might go to Cali or go perform somewhere and everything great, and I feel that whole like things that I was pursuing fully at first, and it's like, boy, you can do that. It ain't like you ain't funny. It ain't like you're here for a reason, but it's not by default, bro. Like, so I trust me, I be going through this. So to stay motivated is definitely just consistently just reminding yourself of your purpose, why you here, and your dreams. Because a lot of times, in what we trying to prove with our life, what I'm trying to prove in my life is that you can do both. Some people think that when you pursue that social contribution, you ain't supposed to eat, and you ain't supposed to live the life you want to live. And then other people think that because you pursuing your dreams, you gotta just do that and you gotta dip. I'm trying to, and I could be crazy for it, but I'm trying to live my life in as an example that you can do both. Last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna be quiet. I was with my man, the director, the other day, and he was like, we was talking about a grant, and I was like, yeah, next year, bro, we gonna get this grant, and it's gonna be cool, and we gonna do whatever. And he was like, bro, I ain't gonna stunt you, yo, with this show, man. Next year, I think we ain't even gonna be here. We gonna be in Cali. I said, bro, I agree with you, but the fact that we started a whole nonprofit, we gonna be getting that grant while I'm in Cali. You get what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Like, you gotta build roots and having teams for other people to be able to win off of it. It's gonna be people running little ass youth running little ass opportunities when I'm not even, you get what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Yeah. So let's get it.
Exactly. No, I love it. And you got some great questions coming up. So Taylor says, what was your biggest accomplishment? And Cam wants to know, who is your biggest inspiration?
Wow, thank you. My biggest accomplishment, I would say, I would say so when I did the AmeriCorps thing, right, while the show was on, my AmeriCorps term was over, and I felt like I wanted to stay with the company because I wanted to really learn how to the nonprofit. So I kind of rolled up. I said, Joe, I don't see anybody really available for AmeriCorps development. I want to do that. So that's a something for y'all to take note on. Like, I saw a void. I created a job position that would fill the void, and I created a job. So I got hired. So within those months after, I just had the opportunity to really directly and intimately work with like just a lot of young adults, older adults, but people that was coming back, re-entry out of jail, just people that were just trying to get it together. And to be honest, I done been on TV, I done performed for a lot of people, but it would be so dope every time we'd be leaving NVA and somebody got their license, or like somebody got their GED. Like they the best vibes because they the most genuine. You know what I mean? Like they the most genuine. And the other things that come, like we made I got a couple big checks. We gonna get way bigger checks, Lord willing. That's cool. TV, we gonna hopefully be on a way better show, get better, that's cool. But that stuff, you can't really, you get what I'm saying? that's the real. Yeah. So that's the answer to the question. I'm not telling y'all this just because this is nonprofit live. Like, I'm dead serious, y'all. They was the vibes, y'all. Like, and to be on a TV show at night, and then the next day, you know what I'm saying, be somewhere, somebody like, yo, when you on TV, why you like that little confusion thing? It always kind of hurts me that we gotta think like that, but then it always feel good because you let somebody know, like, nah, yo, you that important, like that's why I'm right here, like, you know what I'm saying? Or not even that you that important, but that ain't important, like that TV ain't important, so I'm right here, like, what you mean?
I know that's right.
Yeah, who my biggest inspiration is probably damn. All right, so I gotta say Mom Dukes, and I really mean that though. Because she's such an amazing woman. She's like the nicest woman on earth, but she tough though. She real. Everywhere that I live, she lived too. You know what I'm saying? But she still was very just beautiful woman, yo. Super nice. And she's tough though, right? She had 4 brain surgeries in the last, maybe like the last 7 years, about 4 brain surgeries. And she just amazing, man. So she really is, outside of just being my mom, like if she was my aunt, like if she was a woman around the way and I knew her, like I'd be like, yo, shorty, your mother, she dope. And I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's inspiration, but I love Dick Gregory, man, and the legacy that Dick Gregory left, and just the story of a comedian and everything I feel like a comedian could and should be, really embodying that in their life. So for y'all, Dick Gregory, rest in peace, was a comedian, but he also was a very strong civil rights activist that did a lot throughout the civil rights era and after, right? Conscious to say the least, right? For lack of extremely better words. But he did comedy about what was going on and what still goes on today, but especially at the heart of it, right? And did it in all white rooms, right? So he had white people laughing at how white people was treating Black people, but also having them convicted by it, you know what I mean? And he just was the man. Like he marched on the front lines, and I actually was blessed to interview him. If y'all check out my website, I was blessed to interview him like maybe a month or 2 before he passed away. And Rashad, we all know Rashad, man. Rashad Staten, right? When I started comedy, Rashad is who really introduced me to Dick Gregory. So I didn't even like know Dick Gregory all my life type thing. Like Rashad was like, boy, you know, you doing the comedy. He was like, yo, you know Dick Gregory? And I was like, I think. And he was like, here. He tossed me his book Nigga. And I read Nigga. I had never in my life, now mind you, just 3 years into college, like, right? I just dropped out of college. I had never read a book cover to cover ever. Like I would read a book, like I never read a book cover to cover in my life. I'm being honest with y'all. And since then I have a couple. But Rashad gave me the book and I read Nigga like twice, 2-3 times, like back to back, like every page.
Wow.
And that was it. And so Dick Gregory, man, was the man. So if y'all check the interview out, it's a lot that will consistently and probably forever be relevant. It's a lot of gems. And one of the main things he talks about that I'm gonna say is, because I just seen on I was on an Instagram page that had like, I think Hilarious Omar, and I'm cool, that's my man. We just talking, but he had a video that they reposted. I guess he was talking about where's the entertainers, where's the rappers right now and stuff. And one of the main things in that Dick Gregory interview, when y'all check it out, is that he was saying like, nah, like, you get what I'm saying? Like when stuff go down, we don't be looking at bakers or firemen per se, you get what I'm saying? Or like whatever. He's like, yo, why? Like he was like, yo, we don't go find to put the water coolers together to come do a surgery. Like he like, yo, like, nah, he's like, it's up to us. We looking at the wrong people. We should be illuminating and empowering the people that have the God made for the position. You know what I'm saying? In a way, right? Like in a way, and or looking into ourselves, how we can step up ourselves. Because it's undeniable power, influence, and all that stuff, but that's all like subjective to who we give it to in certain moments. And he was saying, he was like, yo, when I put my life on the line, I put my life on the line as me. I didn't put my life on the line with Gregory the comedian, and because I made money on, nah, he was like, yo, I just happened to be that. You get what I'm saying? And that's whatever, but he was like, nah, bro, we gotta stop. He was like, that's a trick bag. By us doing that, that's kind of like a conundrum, because it's never going to change nothing. Like, because we're never going to have every entertainer, whatever, because they're not supposed to, they're not in that position. And as long as we give them that, we consistently giving them open-ended power, because we just waiting. Like, yeah, the entertainers. Where the entertainers at, y'all? I ain't see no entertainers. Whole time, you very capable to whatever, but you waiting for the entertainers. And it's not just entertainers. We be waiting for the government. We be waiting for other people that ain't us. We be waiting for everybody. Just waiting with our oatmeal.
Hey, yo, with our oatmeal. Yo, we only got about 4 more minutes left, and I definitely need you to give us a sample of all this funniness you got. But Lamar wants to know, are you interested in mentoring a mentee? And Zoe wants to know, is there anything you wish you did differently in your life before getting to where you are today?
Lamar the Shields.
No.
That's what big homie, baby.
Lamar the Shields.
Every time you were saying Lamar, I was like, Lamar, keep asking me questions. All right, that's what's up. Lamar, what's up, man? So not just me, but we're interested, man. So it's a few of us. Just a part of Little Laughs, like some of my comedian friends, right? And yeah, man, please reach out to us. Send me a DM real quick, and then I definitely know it's you, Lamar, and let's get to work, man. Let's get to work. And thank you for pulling up. But the second question, what's the second question?
Yeah, is there anything you wish you did differently in your life before getting to where you are today?
Yeah, I think that's a tricky question, and I think we're gonna consistently like learn how tricky that is. You ever seen somebody that was like, "Yo, I don't have no regrets," and then you be looking like, "Yes, you do." The reason that they might have said that is because you come to learn how everything kind of connects to everything if you're willing to not give up and willing to stay ambitious. Like almost like the day that you was dumb broke and you only had 2.5 cents, like that made sense for something that's in your positive, successful future. So that's when it gets real hard. So even answering that question, it is some things that I wish it was different, but I don't know how much they would change what's going on. So I think if anything, it would just be kind of like foundational stuff, right? Because no matter what mistakes you make or other things, if you put a good foundation together, that'll still be there. So what I would say is just things like financial, y'all, like your credit, all that other stuff. You can journey with what you want to do as far as your impact. You can journey with what you want to do as far as your art, but everything that would just sustain your livelihood, you get what I'm saying? Just don't mess that up. And that'll help a lot, because you're still going to have to go through but if you could go through that and just have a little better financial and not mess your credit up, I think that's probably fine nowadays.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, and I tagged them in my story this morning, Lamar, so get his IG account from there.
That's it, bro. It's on you.
Yeah, let's do it. Can you give us a sample of all this comic greatness you got going on? Like, what can we expect if we had a Big Fred show?
I'm not gonna give y'all a sample, yo, but I'm gonna tell y'all a story, yo. So it's funny that we on Zoom. Well, y'all on YouTube, but we on Zoom because we quarantine for real. And I only go out when I go out and just do work. But I had a young lady that we been dating, and when the quarantine happened, we couldn't date no more. So I thought I was being cool. I was like, yeah, babe, we gonna go ahead and get on Zoom. We gonna have a nice Zoom date. I'm gonna get the wine, you feel me? I went up Moe's. I got a little crab cake, something, little dinner. It was cool because I ain't had to pay for both of them. So I don't know what she got on her side, but I got a nice crab cake, the one with the shrimp and a nice little scallop sprinkled in that. Had the wine on the side. So I come to the computer and I'm waiting, you know what I'm saying? And I get on Zoom and I'm the host. So I'm on there and I'm just waiting for it to say that somebody is in the Zoom. "15 minutes later, ain't nobody in the Zoom." So what I did was get a little frustrated. I'm texting the phone. I'm like, "Babe, where you at? Like, I'm waiting for you." You know what I'm saying? Like, the waiter come and take the order. I'm like, "Yo, where's you at?" And she ain't never hit me back. So I get a little disappointed. I'm like, I ain't tripping. I'm thinking she went to sleep. So I just get on the gram. I get on Tory Lanez. It said Tory Lanez was live. He been throwing the Instagram parties. So I get on Tory Lanez. Guess who on Tory Lanez Instagram?
I can't.
Guess who on Tory Lanez live?
I cannot, yo.
My goodness. So you know what I did? I straight hang up, get back on there. I at least put some hearts. I still want support. I'm a nice person. You get what I'm saying? I was nice. I ain't tripped too much, but I did unfollow it, yo. Because you can't, how you gonna stand somebody up on Zoom? That's not cool. How you stand somebody up? This like you ain't supposed to just stand up virtually, yo. That's not. I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but y'all asked for the tea, so I'm just giving y'all the tea, man. It's different.
Yo, you is stupid. Oh my God, Big Fred.
Y'all said
your grandmother made you that.
She sure did.
Thanks, Grandma.
She ain't make it for COVID. She been working on this since last year. She just finished in time. You know what I'm saying? She just finished that in time. It just was convenient. It just made sense. I was like, "Grandma, you on it?" Thanks, Grandma. I appreciate that, babe. Thank you, Grandma.
Yo, you are so stupid. Big Fred, we need your jewels, man. Everybody that come through gotta leave us with some jewels. What's your jewels, man?
Oh man. We need us, y'all. We need us. That's all we need. We need us, y'all. Please know that everything that we need is between you and someone else, right? And it's up to you to do what you got to do for those somebody else's to kind of illuminate, right? And it's up to you to do what you got to do so you can illuminate for somebody else.
Hey, thank you so much, Big Fred. Yo, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for coming through.
That story gonna be forever a story because it's real, yo. And
I know it was real.
The last time Popeyes was good, they been slipping after that day. It was like 3 years ago. They tripped.
I know. You is crazy. All right, man. I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe out there.
All right, love you, man. Send me some of this. I don't know how I'm gonna get this. I want to put something up there and promote what y'all got going on.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. You already know I got you.
All right, little baby.
All right. I see you. Y'all, tell me he ain't a fool, y'all. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Such a good time. I love my man, Big Fred. Definitely make sure y'all go follow him. Drop a lot of hearts in his inbox. Let him know you appreciate his time today. I tagged him in my post this morning. It's Big Fred Comedy. So I'll see y'all back in like 2 minutes with Miss Mo, y'all, right at 12 o'clock. Hey, y'all, we are back. Was my man not hilarious? That man is a fool. Miss Mo,
Hey,
what's up? How you doing?
good. How are you?
Yo, I'm good. I can't complain. That daggone Big Fred, y'all,
Had you cracking up?
is a fool, y'all. A whole fool, y'all. Love him to death. Yes. Hey, Jordan, it's cool. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate you. How you doing today?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good, good, good. My mother was all like, Miss Mo hair looks so good.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's cool.
He was like, yeah, I like that. I was like, why, man? Go
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you.
Crazy, yo. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Man.
Do you see Cam or Mar?
Cam or Ma? Yeah.
I mean, not Mar. Sorry, Lamar.
Lamar? No.
Wow. Y'all not going to get on here with me? They
What
both
they
supposed
do?
to be in.
What they doing?
You wasn't listening yesterday or Friday.
Oh, y'all reading your letters. That's why they ain't hurry up and jump on, because they want to read them letters.
Get out of
Bluffing.
here.
Big bluffing. They was just on the last session though,
I
so they
know.
hear you loud and clear. They
I
big
know.
bluffing.
I know.
Nobody, y'all.
No, Cam. I'm not cutting them off. I'm not cutting them off. I'm not doing that, but I do need them to come on here. I don't know what's going on, but
They
it's all
ain't
right.
coming, y'all.
It's fine. They are coming. Why would you say that? Don't manifest
They
that.
ain't coming, y'all. Oh,
Why would
now.
you say that?
Oh, all right.
Oh, you a little face. Like, why would you say that?
No face. Ha! There you go.
Wow. That is a mess.
Hey, y'all,
Lamar.
keep the wavy way, y'all.
Hey, the wavy way, the only way.
The wavy way is the only way. Hey, y'all better invest in this man product now.
They should know this by now.
They don't know, y'all. They don't know.
It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Once I get enough money to make it. Oh yeah.
Gosh. All right,
So
y'all. Forget I said anything, y'all.
So is the product just for waves, or can it be used in like natural hair?
It's a natural hair product for anybody hair. So it's just gonna be I'm just gonna be using straight natural ingredients, so it can be put into dreads. You gotta put it in your bed, like just all natural stuff that's gonna enhance a person, like, basically.
Okay, I might have to cop. You have to let me know.
I got you.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know where Cam is at, y'all. So we just going.
She on my phone wilding out, talking some crap. Hold on, let me see.
What? Ty, hi Ty, where you been?
I know, yo. Tyler came out her little grave, yo.
Hi Ty, I just saw her name pop up.
Yeah. Oh, Ty was rolling with us this morning.
Okay. Yes, Ty. What's up?
Yeah, she dug her little self out her grave. I can see her in there now, clawing her way up.
Oh my God.
Made it. Made it. We miss our little Ty.
We do. What's
I
up,
know.
Ty?
I need my Boston cream with a large French vanilla hot, extra cream, extra sugar.
Nasty. Boston cream is nasty.
I don't even know what that is. That coffee or something? Like,
no, Boston
That's
cream is like, yeah, that's a donut and it's nasty. When you bite into it, stuff come out. That's disgusting.
oh, what is it called? It's like a big circle, a jelly donut.
Kind of, but it's cream in it instead of the jelly.
That sounds good a little bit.
Exactly. Ty gonna get us a dozen. Ty, hey, Cam got on her wavy way, Cam.
Chaos smoothie.
Yo got on her wavy way. What's up, Cam?
Hey. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey Cam, welcome to the party.
Hey, Miss Morgan, why you never respond like fast like Miss Joni did?
What happened?
I text you because it wasn't saying. It said I needed a password to get in.
Oh, I'm sorry. I told you yesterday for these sessions I put my phone on do not disturb. I'm so sorry. I apologize. But it was 2 minutes ago.
I want to know where these passwords come from.
Is it me too? Exactly. All you want to
'Cause
do
I
is
never
click.
get a password.
That's if you got a ghetto phone.
You have the app.
No, I
Kim?
don't.
You have the app, Kim?
Yes, I have the app.
Are you signed in on the app? I
Yes.
mean, you don't have to sign in. I don't know. Sometimes it tells people they need a password. I don't know.
That's how it is on my on the John Hopkins meetings. Like some people be needing it and some people don't.
Yeah. I mean, you had to ask Miss Joni anyway, to be honest, because I don't know the password.
Okay. I guess you get a password.
It's fine. It's all right, y'all. Hey, Taylor. She says she don't like chocolate. All right, y'all. We about to get this in. James is gonna join us, I believe, in like 10, 15 minutes ish. But yeah, he gonna come on here too. He gonna read his. But first we just gonna do a little like activity. So I stole this. I did this somewhere else. But if you had a song, like if you were like walking out on stage or whatever, and you had like a song that played as your background music, what song would that be?
Oh,
I think I would play Nothing on You. It's by B.O.B.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that song. I haven't heard that song in a long time.
See, mine's by Raw Weave. I'm trying to think of the name right now. I'm trying to think
Oh
of
my God. You're in a row wave.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm playing my man's project. What's it called?
Okay, well, once you find,
I can't think of the name.
All right, Miss, you go ahead and share yours while Lamar's thinking.
yeah, I got mine right here.
Are you gonna play it?
Oh.
You gotta sing it though, because you're not trying to get this video taken down for copyright. So
Oh, I know this one. It's so basic, Miss Joni.
It's not basic.
Oh, like you should have just came out the Tootsie Slide.
Tootsie Slide.
Yeah.
It is basic.
All right, girl,
Left
turn
it
it
up, right
off.
foot
You're not
slide.
trying to get this video flagged.
I know,
We got
right?
good content on here.
Exactly. You ain't lying. You ain't
I really
lying.
can't think of it.
All right.
James is knocking at the door. Let him in or keep him at the door.
Let him in. Let him in. Because he's gonna do it too.
No locked doors.
Look, we don't know what these ghetto people coming to do to us.
Oh my goodness. Hey James. Or not.
He got his wavy way on. Hey James.
How you doing, love? Okay, James, we talking about what song we would play if we were coming out on stage. Like what would be your background music? I had a song like this morning and I honestly forgot what it was. So I'm gonna use my backup song, which is Bad by Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. James, would you like to share?
Kids never even heard Bad.
Sure.
Ooh,
How do I know to say the song? Okay, go ahead, James.
Mine would be Transformer by Nicki Minaj in the future.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. All right, cool. Thank y'all for doing that. Taylor said her song would be Just Fine by Mary J. Blige. Specifically the part where she says, "So I like what I see when I'm looking at me when I'm walking past the mirror. I would only imagine I'll be walking on stage to speak about confidence." Yes, Taylor, I love it. I love it. She said she's gonna pick a particular part.
Even though I only like Crackhead Mary.
Oh, so you only like the music that came out the pain. You don't like the music past
Not
the pain.
at all. Not at all. I'm not saying that the music isn't good. I'm not saying it's not good, but like, I like my Crackhead Mary when she was all strung out and when she was having all them problems with KC. Yes, that's my music.
I need you not to call her Crackhead Mary. I need you not to do that.
Look, I'm just saying that new Mary, she came out and messed everything up.
But Just Fine came out like 2005. So you don't like Just Fine?
Exactly. She's talking about she just fine and she stayed fine. That was the problem.
Okay, so what we not gonna do is we're gonna encourage her growth and her just fineness. We're not gonna put her down for not being fine. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. It's fine. No, I understand your perspective, but we gotta like just find Mary too. Maybe not her music, but we gotta support the healing.
Oh yeah, I support her. Go ahead, heal, baby.
Look at you lying. Look at you sitting up here lying. All right. All right, y'all. So who's gonna start us off by reading our letters? Wow, I'm gonna have to do y'all like I do. Like
I'll
they do
go.
y'all in school. Okay.
I was gonna say, I got you.
All right, go ahead, Kim.
So bear with me, okay? Because I made these at 2:00 in the morning and I was half tired. So I didn't write the future self one, but I can freestyle it. I wrote that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So to my letter from my past self, it says, "Dear 14-year-old Camry, I know that you don't always understand why people don't always support you. They aren't for you. People who are for you will come. HeartSmiles is in your near future. You will feel that guidance. You will feel that positive energy. Cherish that moment you had with your dad at the airframe in the summer. That was one of your most fulfilling moments. Your care and love for people won't always be reciprocated, and that's okay. You'll find your way through it. Your kind heart is rare, even though some may take it for granted. That regret it, and the people that didn't support you will try to jump on the bandwagon when they see you being successful. You're one of the hardest workers, but you need to put that into use with your business. Don't get too comfortable. KR is your baby, and it requires all the love and attention that you're giving everyone else. You got it, girl. Don't cry over feeling like you don't have enough support because you are enough. Sincerely, the Camry that's changing every day." That's the past self one. All right. The present self one says, "Dear beautiful, you're beautiful and wonderfully made. You're always taking risks as far as business is concerned. Even though you may be scared when you take them, they'll all be worth it. Whether it is to give you a lesson or take you to your next blessing. You're still working, but sometimes overworking, and you need to give it a rest sometimes. The break can't be too long though, because time waits for no one, and you got progress to make. Your support system is so big, and you're literally just noticing this. HeartSmiles has been a blessing to you. Your time spent with them will always be valued. No one can ever pay you as much as experiences with them is worth. You gain new people in your circle, and you have to guide them in the right direction. They're going in the right direction, but they may need some motivation from time to time. You learn not to always give to the people with their handout. It's okay to say no sometimes. Some people weren't taught to ask how you're doing before they ask for something. Some people don't belong around your aura. You have so much to offer, and that is and will be recognized. Continue to feed those big dreams of yours because you're going to be so fulfilled when you achieve them. You have the work ethic and mindset to do it, and you will. You still need to work on saying no more often because that takes away from things that could actually benefit you. Always think of your brand, KR, before making decisions and think of the impact of those decisions. I have faith in you. You're on the right track and you're blessed and highly favored. Sincerely, you.
Yes, Pam. Thank you. You want to do it now, or you want to take some time to think about it?
I think I'm gonna take some time for the future self one.
Okay, that's fine. So, thank you for sharing those to your past and your present. It's very, very, very powerful. And we're gonna do like kind of encouraging each other and say like what we like from each other's letters, like after everybody reads them. So make sure y'all taking note of, what was your favorite parts, what you want to tell Cam, and then also take notes on other people's letters and tell them what you want to tell them. So yeah,
right.
Thank you, Cam. We'll do Lamar, and then we'll come back to you, Cam. That sound good?
That sounds good.
All right, cool. All right, go ahead, Lamar.
All right, open it up. Open it up. So I was looking for the music. It was all right here. All right. Okay. All right. This is for my past self, right? I said, dear younger Lamar, right? I know that you don't have a full grasp of life or what you want to do, but I wanted you to have a purpose. I wanted you to have a purpose. You're going to be someone big doing something even bigger. You just have to believe. take school seriously because you never know the opportunities that you've missed trying to fit in or try trying to fit in or being shy. Or being too shy to be different and stand out. Try try new things because the result might surprise you. You might even surprise yourself. I want you to be so much more confident than what I was, and even more determined to be. I mean, mm, I keep stuttering. I want you to be so much more confident than what I was, and even more determined to work for your dreams. Also, tell your grandmother that you love her as many times, and remember the reason that you work so hard is for her as well as for yourself. P.S. Nothing will ever stay the same, so don't let the yeah, I was sleepy. Don't let the stay the same, so don't let the adversity define what I messed it up. I messed it up. I was sleepy writing that. But I was saying don't nothing stay the same, so don't let it define you, basically. Oh, define what you accomplish. All right, then for my current self, I said, dear Wavy Mug, how you doing? Remember that the only person that can make your dreams come true is you. I'm so proud of you. You're doing things that I never thought you could even fathom. Just taking it one step at a time. Yeah, one step at a time. You got what you're doing. Just remember that. Just remember that what you speak on can have. What you speak on, you can do 100%. This business thing that you're doing, keep it up. I know you'll love it. Remain humble and keep your efforts at a high. Last but not least, remember that life only happens once. You can only live life with the results of doing something and failing or possibly succeeding or not doing anything at all, and dream about what you could have done. You need to take charge. Remember, no one will willingly care about what you do, so it's your job to make them, it's your job to show them why they should care. That's it. Well, I still got my future. Do I read my future or wait?
Wait, go ahead and wait for the the future self. So I realize that's a lot of content, right? So Cam did her past and her present. Lamont did his past and his present. James, go ahead and do your past and your present, and then we'll all do our future part together. So we'll all do our past and present right now, and then we'll do our future part in the future of this session. Go ahead, James.
Okay. So I said, dear past James, I'm sorry that you experienced what you had to experience. I'm sorry that you felt those emotions. I wish I could take those feelings away from you and let you know that you're worth it and you deserve the world. Here's my present. Dear present James, don't be afraid of the future. Don't be scared about how you think life is going to be after high school. Enjoy your life and don't take it for granted. Everything will work in your favor. Just remember, don't dwell on the past. Be happy.
Thank you, James, and thank you, Lamar, for sharing your past and your present. Um, so I guess that means I gotta share my past and my present letters to myself. Um, so let's hit it. Um, Dear Morgan, you are blessed and you are covered. Show people that you have things other than school things going through your mind. Don't be concerned with how you look in comparison to others. You didn't create that mindset. You have a voice, show people, but you don't have you currently do not have control of your mind. I wish I wish you had the capacity to think for yourself and stand up for yourself. I wish you just didn't know what other people wanted you to do all the time. You were a child and stayed in a child's place, but that wasn't the greatest foundation to attain your full greatness. Don't let people make fun of you and talk about you, but don't make it okay for them to forget about you either. Don't get embarrassed so easily and don't give your future and what you think about yourself to other people. You know the answer, raise your hand. Don't wait for people to call on you for the answer, but don't wait for people to call on you for your opinion. Power only lies in the hands of those that are willing to create it and hold on to it. So that is my past self. And then my current self, Oh, that's a little long. All right, here we go. Dear Mo, the growth in the last 3 years is not a mistake, it's a calling. Every piece of what has happened has pointed to a greater impact. Love your babies and love them unconditionally. Love your family and love them unconditionally. Love your true friends who are family and love them unconditionally. Now is not a time to fall victim to what you struggle with, even though it has been very easy to fall right now. Pull yourself up and lean on the ones that truly love you and love all of you. Talents are being revealed. When someone asks you what you're good at, try not to hesitate. Show people who you are and who you aren't. Understand that some people have really bad intentions, and that is not on you. That is not a burden that you have to carry. Continue to do what makes you truly happy and continue to recognize the signs of things trying to steal your joy. You feel the most comfortable you feel the most comfortable in yourself than you ever have, but there is still work to do. Everything that goes wrong is not your fault or goes wrong is not your fault. Take hold of your anger and irritation and use it for something productive. Stop continuing to hold things in and open your mouth to discuss more feelings and emotions, even if you feel like you talk about them too much. Continue to be the catch all for others. Cope with the things you are still struggling really hard to understand. Time will be Time will be the only healer for some things. Success is only determined by you, not by labels, accolades, and education, and definitely not by other people. Congratulations, you have a voice and mind of your own. Okay, Miss Joni, go ahead and read your present and your past again.
Read it again, the same one.
Yeah. I said this twice. Wait,
I know this was part of the deal, but all right, okay. Everybody already heard mine.
all right, so you don't have to do it. Bye. It's fine. It's fine. But read the future part. Be prepared to read the future part again. Because we are going to read the future part again. Okay?
All right.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. So we're gonna take a pause, I guess, right now and just talk about like how it felt to write to your past self and your present self. So Cam, go ahead and get us started about how it felt to do that.
Honestly, last night at 2, I was honestly just thinking, like, I said I was going to get on this success session, so I really have to do this. And I'm like, I'm not going to put nothing up there that's going to be like BS or nothing. So I had to like get myself together at 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, get these together. So like, when I was doing it and like actually like putting energy into it, it was like, I'm really reflecting on everything that happened because I'm like, I haven't lived that long, but at the same time, like, age is nothing but a number. So it's like experiences, like everybody experiences different and everything. So it's like I'm kind of like trying to reflect and trying to look at the PowerPoint questions you were having, but then I noticed like um like I'm not really the type that like using guiding questions unless I really need them because I don't know, it make me feel like confined or put in a bubble. So, like I noticed that about myself, and then I'm like, I really did like experience a lot, and like some of the stuff people been saying was like true, and also like I was on Shalaw's mentoring Monday yesterday, and like they were talking about like how I'm working hard and everything, and they noticed, and it made me feel good, but they also had me add into my present self because like sometimes I do notice I overwork myself and I need to take a break, but like I feel like it is some good and bad to it, so I had to add that into my stuff. So it also not only had me go back on a reflection of myself, but like other people's reflection of me. So like that's everything I was thinking about yesterday when I was doing the letters, like how I actually feel about myself, like a real look, but also how other people feel about me. And it like incorporated into like how I felt. Cause I feel like people that's important to me, like people like Shalor, Miss Joni, Miss Morgan, everybody in HeartSmiles, like I value their opinion. So like when they say stuff like that, it sounds like a concern, like I'm going to take it into consideration. So that's what I was thinking about when I put it in my what I was doing with my letter yesterday, with my letters.
Thank you, Cam, for sharing that. And I think it's important because we do spend a lot of time like saying like, oh, we don't, worry about other people's opinions. We don't worry about what other people say about us. And normally that's like with a negative connotation. So if people are saying bad things about it, we don't let in the noise. But sometimes we have to, be conscious of the people that do love us and do support us, telling us like, hey, I'm concerned about you. I love you. And are you okay right now? Or do you need any, extra support? Or I see you working and I see you like stressing over something. What can I do to help? So thank you for sharing that, Cam. I appreciate that. Lamar, can you share how you felt? Oh, and thank you for writing it at 2 a.m. Appreciate you.
Oh, how I felt when I was writing it? Well, I actually felt good because I was already reflecting. Cause I was up at like 3 a.m. watching Infinity War Endgame. It's not my fault. My sister rented it. I watched it. It was good, but it had me reflecting about the whole Avengers and like thinking about the kids and the future and stuff like that. So then I started thinking about myself towards that, and then I was just like, I kind of put it together. I'm not saying I'm Iron Man or nothing, but I kind of did my thing, put it together, just thought about it deeper. It was like, dang, they had the same personal traits that I had. Then I went back to I thought back to when I was a kid, and I was like, I did this, I did that. I was acting like this when I was this young. Like I could have did so much more if I was acting like how I was now compared to them, but I can't. Like there's nothing I could do about it. So it's like you only got one chance to do anything. So it's like that's the main thing I was thinking about. I'm like even for my past and my future stuff, like that was just the main thing I was trying to relate. Like you got one thing. I mean, you got one life. You got one chance to do something. So it's like that's just what I just kept thinking about when I was doing it.
Cool. Thank you, Lamar. Yeah. I think it's hard to when you're writing to your past self, right? Because you can't go back and you can't necessarily change what you did in that moment, but you can absolutely still, in some situations, change the outcome of, certain things and how they affect you. So thank you for sharing, Lamar. All right, James. Yeah, honey. Bun.
Okay. When I was writing mine, it felt kind of weird because I don't really like. Well, sometimes I don't really like the dawn of the past because like it brings up like old memories and old emotions that I just don't want to have nothing to do with. So, like when I was writing it, it brought back old memories of like good times, but also bad times. To where like I put enough effort to where like my present self can understand what my past self was going through and like how I felt in that moment and like how all the emotions I was feeling from experience to experience, like the different people I met and like things like that. But like I had to understand that like that's the past me, and like I know that I know I can't go back and like change the way I felt, but I can always improve myself so that I can never feel that way again.
Thank y'all for sharing those things. We're going to read our future parts now. So kind of same order: Cam, Lamar, James, me, Miss Joni. She chooses to participate.
Wait. Why
Don't
y'all
do
didn't
me.
go?
Huh?
Why y'all ain't say how y'all felt when y'all made the letters?
Oh, well, Miss Joni said it. She said it on the last session. Oh,
All
go
right, because
ahead.
I'm about
Whoa,
to
cause
say,
you jumping.
I'm just saying. So for everybody, all right, first of all, if anybody is on here listening and you didn't hear my letters and you want to hear my letters, put it in the comments. I will do my letters. But y'all know I'm a little bit of an overachiever. So I did all mine on the spot. Like when she first asked this. So everybody else needed like 2 days to get their stuff together. Whole time I did mine in 25 seconds. So that's the only reason why she kind of skipped over me a little bit. But if anybody is on here and didn't hear mine and you want to hear mine, I have no problem sharing it because mine was real too.
You know they were gonna want to hear it, so you might as well just go ahead and read it again.
All right, y'all. Let me just read it again.
While you pull it up, Cam is right. I didn't say how I felt doing my past and my present letters. So my past letter, I definitely it was like me realizing certain things. I think I was able to like, I've done some reflection in general, but I think I was able to realize like certain things about my childhood that I couldn't necessarily see when I was, at that age. So I just felt like really reflective, and then right into my present self was actually kind of hard. Just because that child and then the person that you see today are like different people. Like I feel like if I could separate them and put them in front of me, I wouldn't recognize today me versus past me. So it was just kind of surreal, I guess. So yeah. Yeah, hit it, Miss Joni. I need to hear that. Zoe said that. Go ahead and hit it.
That's crazy. All right, so this is my past self. Dear Joni, don't be discouraged by your teachers and mean classmates. School is not for them, it's for you. Even if the lesson doesn't make sense, do your best to extract some value and appreciation for learning and education. Education is a sure way out of poverty, and even just the experience will set you up for success much sooner than you could imagine. You're going to be successful. Don't worry about that part. Your consistent work ethic will ensure that, and people will notice. No one is going to be on your back about education. You have to be your own motivation and find your own way to discipline yourself, especially when it feels like you just want to quit. Also, your father is never coming. Don't spend any more time expecting his call on your birthday or any other day that means something to you. You already know that this can't be an excuse for mediocrity, but I just wanted to remind you, you'll be great without that ninja. P.S. HeartSmiles needs you now. Don't waste any more time. Joni, 2020. That's my past self. This one is for my present self. Dear Joni, it's not your fault when some kids fall through the cracks. It's not your fault when some kids choose to ignore the lessons you're teaching them. It's not your fault when some kids don't pick up the blessings and opportunities you make available to them. You are doing way more than what anyone can expect, above and beyond considering any metric. They have to do their part. They have to want it. They have to see their potential for themselves and want more for themselves. Yes, I know it's heartbreaking to watch kids you love and see as your own bury themselves in graves of mediocrity and mental poverty. Your mission was never to help everyone. Your mission was just to help one, the one who wants your help, the one who wants to be better, the one who was willing to work to be better. Keep making moves, Joni. A lot of adults are sick because they think you've changed, but no one works this hard and sacrifices this much just to stay the same. Keep your focus as you have been and stay away from all of the negative vibes. HeartSmiles will birth the next leaders of the world. Trust that.
Thank you, Miss Joni, for hesitantly sharing. We appreciate you. And thank you. Definitely powerful. Still powerful the second time hearing it. Trust me, it is. So thank you for that. All right, y'all. So we're gonna read to our future selves. And yeah, so Cam, let's hit it.
I guess it won't seem that. Wait, hold on. I got something else to say though.
Go
Miss
ahead.
Joni, though, the way you be reading them letters, it got me thinking, like, you know how you be listening to them audiobooks? Maybe you need to be one of them readers, because that voice be like a little, your son I would listen to though. I think you should try it. This is a suggestion. But
She can read her own book.
Thank you.
right.
Chill on me.
All right. I kind of put like a little starter on. I had kind of typed a little bit. I said, dear future self. So I'm talking about myself at like age 30, I'm guessing. So I said, dear future self, you are doing a great job. You are a great mother and a great wife. You have a balance between your family and your business. Not everyone has this ability. So the rest of it is not going to be like really formal. I'm just going to like talk about like what I want. But like it was hard for me to actually try to structure it as a formal letter, because like it's so much stuff that I want to do. So like Miss Morgan had read this essay that I had wrote for like my future self. It was like a prompt for this little thing in California. And it basically had said that like I wanted to be in Forbes, like for like philanthropy, because like the top 50 people in philanthropy, like I think it says like the top 50 givers or something, like none of them is Black, like it's white, Filipino, like people like that. I'm not against people like that, but I feel like it should be more Black people on a list like that, something so powerful, like giving back to their people or whatever. And I feel like I'm capable of that. So I want to be on Forbes top 50 givers. Yeah, I want to have kids and be a wife, because like after 30, like it's not impossible or whatever, but like I don't know if I would personally feel like dating and all of that like after 30. I feel like it's gonna get played out. So yeah, I want to have like be married and everything. And I also want to be a mother. I probably only have like 2 by 30, probably like 2. And like I envision like my future, like I'm raising those kids with the same person I'm married to, because like I'm not knocking anybody else that has like kids with multiple people, but like I feel like it'll like help my kids like grow up better, like with the family being like all together and everything. And I'm really want to have like a work home balance, because like a lot of people, like things don't work because people are focusing too much on work, or like you're not successful in the work that you do because you're focusing too much on like home or whatever. So like I'm gonna have a balance with that and everything. It's just a lot of goals that I have, but like I feel like no letter that I have, it will like really like put it all into perspective, like the way I see it. Cause like it's kind of scary to wait. Like all the things that I want to do, especially by 30, like I want to own a house and everything. And yeah, there's no letter that can do it any justice. So I just did it that way. So you can get like a glimpse or like a preview, because you'll see it at 30. Trust it.
Thank you, Cam. No, I believe you. I definitely believe you. But no, what you did just now was completely fine. So like if y'all want to read what y'all wrote, that's completely fine. But if you just want to talk about what you're gonna do and tell us what you're gonna do or where you're gonna be, or anything like that, you're absolutely welcome to do that too. So go ahead, Lamar. Wait, where'd you go? You still here with us?
I had grabbed my charger real quick. My phone was 10%.
Okay, James, go ahead and read your future.
The ghetto, yo, the ghetto.
Right when I call on him, he gotta go get his charger.
I said, dear future James, I know that you're living your best. I know that you're living the life you always wanted. I know that you're a strong individual and is happy with what you're doing. I know that you're still turning looks and looking your best, but I know that you are happy with life. Your business is booming and you're celebrating with everyone you love. Your dreams have came true. You are happy.
Yes, happiness, manifesting happiness and joy. I love it. I love it. And thriving businesses. Great. All right, Lamar, you plugged in that phone. We okay now? You good?
Yeah, I had to get back up there, ghetto. All right, I was gonna read mine, but I don't want to read mine no more. All right, but basically, what I want for my future self is I want to gain a mindset of of that I don't need nobody, but like I can still have people around. Like you get what I'm trying to say? Like I don't need nobody, but I still value people that's around me, but I can still do better without them. Like that type of mindset. But also I want my business, like, you know, I'm trying to be national. You feel me? Trying to have Miss Joni as like an ambassador or something, to be really out there, having my kids with me, my kids wavy. Oh my God. Don't get me started on my daughter. But then I'm out there, I got bands, like what? Big bags in my pocket. But they're gonna be in a bank account though, because like I'm professional. So I'm gonna be professional businessman with the bands in the pocket. So it's like I'm gonna have all that. Then on top of that, I'm gonna still be changing lives. I don't know. I might turn to a little Miss Joni, like, yeah, just get the giving the kids. I might make my own. Like mine's might be Wavy Smiles, my own. Might make a non-profit. You feel me? Just be out there, like trying to do all positive stuff. I'm trying to grow, have all that. I don't want no bastards. So I want everything in the family. Like I want my stuff to just be like yeah, I want life to be good. Like how Future said. Like I want all my stuff like this. Telling you, bands in the bank account, all that. And I want my products to still stay natural. Like I don't want, just because I got big, I gotta use all these preservatives, this and that. Like I need all my stuff how I had it in the beginning. It can improve, but it's still gotta be the same type of complex from the beginning. Yeah, bands in the pocket though.
Not bands and wavy smiles. No, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Mark. So we got thriving businesses, we got philanthropic lists, we got happiness, family. So yeah, I love it. I love it. Thank y'all for sharing.
I also want mine to be worldwide. Come get at me.
Yes,
People in China.
global.
Yes.
Yes.
Whole pockets full.
Yes, so global, international, love it. Definitely love it. Y'all gonna do it. And I hope that as you're saying the stuff, you truly believe it. Cause I absolutely see every single one of y'all doing what you just said that you were gonna do. So thank you for sharing that. And y'all, just in general, thank you for hopping on here and reading letters to yourself. Cause doing a letter and kind of revealing, opening yourself up personally and being able to get on here and do that is not easy. So thank you so much for doing that and being willing to do that. All right. Let me hit this future self. Um, I tried to address myself, but I really didn't know what to call myself. So, because if y'all notice, I called myself Morgan and I called myself Mo, but we just gonna start it. So, thinking does not have limits. Goals are meant to be expanded. Now that you have reached your goals, expand them. They don't end here. Growth doesn't end here. Everybody around you is healthy and full of love. No one in your circle is bringing you down, and you are not bringing them down either. Your mental health is coped with better, and self blaming has ended. Congratulations. It's time to pass down what you have learned from the wise people around you. You were granted an opportunity when you were younger to gain knowledge and love people so hard. Use all of that to make sure that you continue to be a generous, giving, and kind person. You are not broken or shaken by meaningless things and overwhelming assumptions. Now is the time to reflect and create. Create until you can't stop. Be free and be great, but never ever forget to teach people how to do the same. Yeah. All right, Miss Joni, good.
Yo, I love it. Can I first say I'm so inspired by all this giving back? Like y'all are really warming up my little ice box. Yo, wavy smiles. I'm all for it. And you get my size to grow in, I'm the ambassador. What you got for me?
I got you.
all right.
It's coming.
Yeah, you get me nice and thick right here. Listen, I'm the ambassador all day. Get this jar, y'all.
Bet.
All right. Here's my letter to my future self. Dear Joni, time is waiting on no one. not even someone who is giving their all to show others that true success is really possible. Thank you for not hesitating to make the most difficult decisions. Thank you for not ignoring the calling on your life and listening to God's voice during the midst of the Freddie Gray riots. Thank you for taking a chance on you. Thank you for believing in all the heartbeats who showed up and proved themselves to be consistent, passionate about pouring more love and pouring more good into this world. It wasn't easy. Lord knows there have been some dark days, but the sun has never shined brighter in your heart, and youth have never had a promise more genuine. HeartSmiles has definitely changed some lives, and with that, you can be certain that you did your part.
Thank you. All right, y'all. So again, thank you for, reading all parts of your letters or telling us all parts of your letters. So we're just going to end off today saying something, either encouraging, the people on the session right now, saying something that you liked from their letter, asking a question of what you want them to expand on, kind of whatever you want to say, but you have to make sure you say something to each other person on the session right now. And then, Cam, go ahead and get us started.
Well, yeah, Miss Dawn, you should have asked something your future self about your little ice box getting warmed in, cause you are like the sun in there, so it gotta be getting warm. It might be getting hot. But maybe we should do too. That touched on the thing about if we had a show, we should do like 20 years later, these same people in the success session to see if we really did it. But all right, back to everything that I like. I kind of wrote like a little list, I think, on here. But who had one? Oh, I like that Lamar said like how he changed his behaviors and that he doing really well. But I also like when future self, like when he he always had his little spin of like his humor and stuff. So I like how he added the humor, but like it was also like actually realistic and like aligned to how he is now and like how he doing stuff now. And then I like that like James's was like really short and sweet, but like the word choice was intentional. Like you can really see like what he'll be doing. But like all of them had like themes of like happiness and joy and everything. And I like how Miss Morgan like switched up like how like how she addressed herself, like dear Miss Mo or dear Morgan or everything, because it also shows like or represent how like she viewed herself and like what stage of her life she was in. And then I like how in Miss Joni, she like kind of like her future self was like a congratulating letter, like thank you for everything like that she did and everything, because that was kind of different that like everybody didn't have, well, all us didn't have. And our letters like thanking ourselves for everything that we did, because like we don't always recognize our successes and everything. So that's everything that I like about, well, some of the things I like, because I liked a lot of other stuff, but like the main things that I liked about our letters.
All right, thank you, Kim, for sharing. I feel like Lamar might still be writing. So James, are you ready, Lamar?
I got you. Yeah. I can take a break. It's nothing.
You doing other stuff?
Yeah, I'm working on my business, but it's a big old noggin, multitask. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
Hold on, what was the question again? I apologize.
No, my turn over. But I'm ready. I got you. Try to be all smooth, and you got nothing. You got
I
nothing.
lost my train of thought. I was listening, but I lost my train of thought.
Say something encouraging, what you like to everybody on the session right now.
Everybody on the session? Yo, everybody on this session right now.
Nope, you gotta address us individually.
Oh, individually? Oh, I was going, ooh. All right. Okay. I got to address everyone.
Lamar, take some
individually.
time to think about it. We gonna move.
All right.
We're gonna go to James, and we're gonna come back to Lamar. We're gonna go to James, and we're gonna come back to Lamar. Take some time. Take some time. Go ahead, James.
All right.
To Camry, I like how Camry gave, like, she basically pointed out her flaws in her old self, and like she gave herself tips on how she can improve herself, and like in her present and also her future self, and like how she's gonna improve as a person, and also her brand and what she cares for. Lamar, I like how Lamar basically, like, he just expressed where he want to be, basically, like where he want to be in life, what he want to do, how he see himself, like from now until then. Miss Mo, Miss Mo, you are one star. You are a star, you. Um, I like how Miss Mo, she basically, like, I like the way she addressed herself, and basically, like, the way she addressed herself, and like the mindset that she was in at that moment, and like how she felt and the emotions that she was carrying. Miss Joni, I like how Miss Joni, like, she basically, like, she gave herself tips, but she also pointed out her flaws, like Camry did. She pointed out her flaws and like what she was doing, but also gave herself tips and also gave herself details that she know that she can improve on, like how big she want her company and her life to be itself.
Thanks, James. Lamar, you ready to join the party?
No, I'm
ready?
scared. I'm scared to go. I might mess up again. It's like, nah.
You ain't mess up. You ain't mess up. You just have to pay attention. But it's okay. You here now.
Okay. All right. I like James's letter. I like how inspiring it was. Like, even though he had adversity and like beginning of his life, he still found a way to overcome it and become who he is now today. Then it was just so much. Like, all y'all just got so much in your stuff. I love all yours. Oh, I like how for you, Miss Morgan. Miss Morgan, how you reflected on your past and like how you wouldn't even recognize. I mean, you and the person today probably wouldn't even get along. Like, y'all wouldn't even recognize each other because that shows like so much growth that you had from back then to now. All right. Camry. What do I want to say about yours? Oh. Because I really can't think about one. The what's the name? I don't know the name of the people, but they give away money. I forgot what the name was. It sounded like a big word, but yeah, them people.
Philanthropist.
Yeah, philanthropist. Yeah, a philanthropist. I like how she said that she wanted to be a philanthropist, like not just saying like she just want to give away. She want to actually like claim a title and do something big with it. So I like that instead of like, yeah, I like that rather than not just saying, oh, I just want to give away to the kids. She want to be a philanthropist while giving away to the kids. So it's like, that's good. And you also got a title under your belt too. So I like how they go hand in hand. Then last but not least, Miss Joni. What do I want to say about yours? Dang. It's not. I just like how yours is well written. Like, it's a real letter. Mine's is all ghetto, and you had a real letter, like a real letter, and mine's is ghetto. So it's like I appreciate how much work that you actually put into yours. So it's like yours is actually a letter. Like, you could put your signature at the bottom and mail it to yourself. Mine's, I couldn't do that. That's a voice recording.
Thank you, Lamar. We love you, boy. We love you. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, so I'm gonna read a couple of encouraging things that were said in the comments while we were reading our letters. So Mr. Fred, who was just on with y'all at 11, he said, y'all are amazing. The investments you're making now will pay you so much right now and in the near future. And Miss Zoe. Zoe's back with us. Some people don't even see changes in themselves throughout the years. They think they are fine. So for y'all to see a change is an amazing thing. So absolutely, thank you for sharing those encouraging words in the comments. I'm gonna be quick. I'm sorry because the time I feel like is running down. So, Cam, I liked how you said in your letter and you recognize that it's okay to say no. Sometimes because I feel like a lot of times people wait until it's too late to realize that. So thank you for sharing that and thank you for putting that in. And I also like that you said you're blessed and highly favored because I was listening to that song this morning. So it's just funny that you had said it and I was listening to that song this morning. I like that Mara said, like, try new things because the result might surprise you. And then I liked how you talked about how you to tell your grandmother you love her as many times as possible because that's something that I wish I would have done. So that was reflective for me and touched me. And I'm glad that you were able to realize that as well. Um, James, I love that you said your business would be thriving. I mean, all of y'all said that, but specifically because I have almost everyday conversations with James about his business. So I love that you put that in there. And I love that you said you still want to look good and still be out here doing you. So so I love that you put that in there. And then Miss Joni, I love that yours was very, very, very intentional and specific and 110% true to who you were in talking about your journey. Um, and just very like personal. I feel like you put your personal touch on that, and I know that's like hard sometimes for you to dig out. So I appreciate that intentionality. So yeah, Miss Joni, end us off with your encouraging words.
Yeah, man, I was inspired about all of them. Like Mo, for real, I feel like you really like checked your own self. Like you and I had like a lot of, conversations and stuff about your growth and where you want to be and all that stuff. And it's not too many times that somebody can look and see how basically they've been playing their own self. So it's like I really appreciate kind of like that battle, that conversation between, who you were, I guess, kind of like raised to be. Like when you said I was a child who stayed in the child's place, and I realized that that wasn't, good for fundamental. Like I'm like, wow, like how powerful is that? Because that's something that people even say to this day, and who knows how that could be impacting somebody that's brilliant and somebody who really needs their, voice to be heard, but it's silencing them. So I appreciate the fact that you said that, and even more so that you recognize that, and that, now you're doing what you got to do to kind of break out that and step into who you're supposed to be. James, just this whole idea of, I can be happy despite overcoming all those obstacles, overcoming all those challenges, and me just knowing some of the things that you've been through and some of the things that you continue to fight through, for you to still be able to have a smile on your face and to be able to live in your happiness and to own it and to say, yes, I'm happy. Some people never ever get to that place. And we always talk about this idea, where you can be rich financially, your bank account is, on 1,000, your bank account is pretty, but your soul is empty, and your soul was really shining through as a powerful light. So I appreciate yours. Cam, the fact that you brought back the whole idea of a whole family, like that right there says to me that you understand the root cause of a lot of the issues that we are seeing now, like in our communities. I'm not blaming everything on single family homes or broken families, but a lot of things can be linked back to that. A lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of things that our kids go through. And just the fact that you are looking bigger picture and saying like, yo, I want to at least make sure that my family is okay and that I have a whole family, 2 parents in the house and all that. I think people really underestimate the value of that. And for you to be so young to already thinking that already says that you're thinking in whole. You thinking in whole, how can things be complete? How can things have as much support as possible? And how can we truly have a foundation and start people off right with a solid foundation so that way they can grow and be more. And you already know the whole idea of giving back is near and dear to my heart, which is why Mars resonated with me the most, just for the fact that you already got a heart for younger kids. Like, I'm not saying that adults are a waste of time, but investing in young people is definitely investing in your future. And for you to already have that mindset that you want to give back to kids and you want to be a role model to kids, like that right there says so much more. And especially you being a Black man, a Black young man, because without ever hearing you speak, if I was just to put your picture up, somebody probably thought you was about to rob the place and they would be scared of you. But just to know that you are the complete opposite of what that narrative is that they like to paint of our young Black men, like that makes me like just so happy and so glad to be in your presence, because it's like, wow, we really are seeing who the future leaders of our world is, like right here, right now. And I just appreciate that you guys are strong enough to know that and embrace that so early.
Thank you all for, again, participating, lifting each other up. Oh, Miss Joni looking at that time. I'm so sorry. It's 101. It's 101. I am so sorry. But this is a great exercise. Anybody who wants to just do it for yourself, I definitely recommend it. And thank you for participating again. My jewel is vulnerability is beautiful. And so thank y'all. I think we're gonna have a couple more letters read throughout the week. Not a whole session dedicated, but a couple more people said they wanted to do it. So all right, y'all.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well, thank y'all so much. Got me way over time. Way. I'll see y'all later.
Sorry, bye.
Bye, y'all. Yo, great conversations, powerful sessions today, man. I'm so proud of everybody that came on, especially the young people. Like, we kicked the morning off hard with Ari and Summer, who just came through with that powerful conversation about relationships. And of course, y'all know my man, Big Fred, came through talking about the bullying situation. So inspiring and just so informational. And then now with this last session with Miss Mo, shout out the Wavy Way, shout out Chaos Smoothies, and shout out King James, man. All young leaders who are doing great things. So I'm just super proud to say that, you know, we are a part of it and we get a front row seat to watch it all go down. So with that being said, y'all, guess what? We done for the day. We are officially done for the day. So thank you so much for rocking with us. Y'all already know what it is, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You want to be successful. You want to engage in positive conversations. This is the place that you need to be. This is the place you need to be. Success Session. So y'all, enjoy the rest of your day. I got classes and stuff to teach later. So of course, you know, I'm going to be working, but enjoy the rest of your day. Do something productive. Do something that your future self is going to thank you for. And I'll see y'all right back here tomorrow, 10 a.m.